Let
me see where we at. Top of the morning to all the great bulldoggers. And you know what? Let's say that with a grand rising. Morning insinuates mourning or grief or the sorrow. And we're not here for sorrow. We're here to uplift and bring brothers up. I'm in the house with none other than the legendary brother Soul Power, aka Gamed Up Kennels. Soul, welcome, my brother.
Blessings. Hey, as you said, grand rising to people. I like to use top of the AM. You did?
Hey.
Yes, sir. Blessings to the family.
Yeah, man. So I see some people already in here. We're going to start the roll call off. You know, we keep the roll call going about the first 10, 15 minutes. Supreme Excellence 1, welcome to the chat, big bro. Salutes to you. As well as Dickie Foster, man. Big shouts out to y'all, too. Also, members, y'all hold it down as always, man. It's a pleasure to talk to y'all. I'll be putting the link in the chat because this video doesn't have a purpose other than just kick it with y'all and real spill with the family, man. You know, so this is a real spill with the family, the Shogun Army. But yeah, man. So let me go ahead and hit them and pay these sponsors with this intro, and then we're gonna get right into the show.
Please forgive. Too many mind.
Too many mind?
Mind the school. Mind the people.
Let him go, Andre.
Mind the enemy. Too many mind.
Yeah, hey, while the intro was going on, Big A
that last clip right there when you place it.
Yes, sir. Hey, Big A, welcome to the chat.
What's happening? Salute, brother.
Salute. Hey, y'all. So,
you hear me?
Yeah. So I don't want to be messy, but I do want to talk. All right. And I want to keep it as professional as possible while still discussing current issues. All right. So like I'm kind of blindsiding you with this one. Big A kind of had an idea. So there was a video made by some of our other brothers in the dog channel community. And the first one was a video that kind of gave some spill on an old school dog man and like some of his less than popular practices. All right. If you don't know, like I said, I'm not gonna say names here. I'm not gonna blast nobody, but I appreciate you, Supreme. But in another channel, another respectable dog channel was like, hey man, if you didn't say it back then, you shouldn't speak on it now. And so I want to speak on the situation, not the people, because I have mutual respect for both people. And this beefing in dog game stuff, I think is stupid. You know, it's too much good information on here to let the bad information overrun us. But before I yield the floor to my brothers, I do want to say that my perspective on it. My perspective is this: if you speak on something that is public record and you're not adding any new information or corroborating things that are going to get people in trouble, then speak your piece. All right. In this situation right here, most of the dogs or people are either dead or have served their time. Right. So I get one perspective of wanting to just put the story out there. Also, when you hear the entirety of a story, for those of y'all who are on the borderline between making a decision, it can help you make that decision. Because most men take logical evidence, calculate risk and reward, and then act. All right. So I do see positivity in talking about things, even if it's a negative story or a negative connotation, to give a person the full spectrum of why somebody might react that way. Abraham Lincoln said, our enemies did the same thing we would have done given the same options that they had. Our enemies would have done the same, we would have done the same things our enemies have done if we were given the same options that they had. All right. And this is a speech he gave in the Revolutionary, the Civil War. Let me correct myself. But yeah, Now, on the opposite side, there was a brother that said that if you didn't say nothing in the past, you shouldn't speak on it now. To an extent, I agree, but this is one of the things I'll say right now. There are things I would not have spoken out against when I was 17, 18, 19 years old, that due to having a family and seeing the negativity of not saying something back then, I would speak against it every day for the rest of my life. And that is hypocrisy, but it's also called growth. And there's always growth in hypocrisy. It depends on, I would say, the intent behind why you're being a hypocrite. But at that point, my brothers, I'm going to yield the floor to Soul and Big A.
I think you summed it up, brother.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Big A.
yeah, no, it's pretty much well said. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that.
All right. So with that, let's cook and talk. Let's just cook and talk some Bulldog talk. Man, I'm so glad you're trying to. Hey, I appreciate the student like welcome to the chat as well, bro. Hey, y'all. Y'all feel like doing any research this morning? Y'all want to research the pedigree this morning? I'm excited. I would like to look at the pedigree.
That's all good.
All right. And I want to really dive into a pedigree and show y'all some things and talk about some things that I'm going to share with y'all my concoction. Everybody else says don't do it, but I didn't make this. I just followed it. If that makes sense. I just followed it. And so as I get the pedigree built up for y'all or pulled up for y'all, I want to really dig into this pedigree. But I also want to make this impromptu live informative. I'm also taking a speech class, y'all, for my second associates. It'll be education and training management. I got one class left, and I'm taking a speech class. So talking about this with y'all don't understand, like, y'all are life. Coming on this YouTube, getting my public speaking skills up. When I have to speak in class now, it's like a joke almost. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. Let me know, Big A or Soul, let me know when y'all can see this pedigree.
Hold on, brother. Did you just raise the roof? Yo, I'm done, bro. That boy said, I got a speech class. Yo, you took me back right there. Hilarious. Go ahead, brother.
So you got your soundboard? You got your soundboard? That would have been
No, I don't. Right, no, I'm on this road, man. No, I'm on the road there.
Yeah, man. Let me read some of these comments real quick too, y'all. He say, Student Flight say some ish got stirred up. And then Supreme said, I really wish this was 1960, 1970, and I could just pull up on people's residence for smoke, just thinking out loud. Yeah, man, yeah. But it is, man, bro, I feel you, but I will never encourage any of the Shogun Army to act without having full clemency. And this is what I mean by full clemency. Okay. I had beef with a guy who was a convicted felon for murder. Right? Murder. And me and this dude had beef because while he was locked up, one of the chicks I didn't even know he was dealing with, she came into be a good close friend of mine with benefits. And he wanted to pull up on me, armed. I know for a fact you can't have a weapon. If I cock you, then God's will has been done on your life because you don't even have the legal rights to carry this weapon that you're using to threaten me with. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had full peace of mind in that situation, right? And that's where it's like, man, like, understand that I genuinely care about anybody who I associate with in the Shogun Army, and I want you to be irrefutably correct when you're in the public for anything, whether it be positive or negative. Be correct, or as correct as you know how to be in that moment. And then when you get better information, apply that better information. All right. Can y'all see this pig? Do I need to zoom in or anything?
Nah.
And for those of y'all who are listening, I'm going to read the pet to y'all as well, so you can follow along as well. All right. So this dog right here is Garner and Jones Carmelo. All right. Now, as far as Carmelo goes, what do y'all see? And this sounds kind of redundant, but what do y'all see right now? Looking at this Carmelo dog.
Can you bring it up a little bit?
Let me see. Just an image. I was going to just an image.
Oh, okay.
What's like the obvious traits of this Carmelo dog?
Red nose dog.
Okay.
Are you talking about like physical traits or what?
Yep.
And mind you, I'm looking on my phone, so my image could be a little distorted.
All right, so
I see,
y'all see that, right?
The dog looks pretty rangy, like it's got some nice legs underneath it.
Okay, I agree. Now, I'm pulling up some other stuff for y'all, okay? Because I'm really trying to insinuate something here, but I'm trying to insinuate it with evidence, not just with hypothetical information, okay? All right. Now it just
kind of look like a red boy dog.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of look like a red boy dog.
All right. Now I'm gonna show you the father to this dog. And this is one of the things where people like give me crap, but I'm like, bro, like I still bought dogs off of this bloodline because I didn't care about I care that they are real American Pit Bull Terriers. I don't care what the concoction was prior to me knowing the man behind the dog, right? Okay. Now, this dog right here, Carmelo, looks like a Walkamaw dog to me. The ears, like and mind you, I've owned a pure Walkamaw Red Boy dog. It was not directly from Walkamaw, but it was bred off two pure Walkamaw dogs from Ready Red. Okay? This dog looks like my Dior dog. And when I speak on things like this, y'all, I only speak on things that I saw or that I know. Okay? Let me look at the comments real quick. They said, facts. Gotta be correct when you step up. Yep. And red fawn. Okay. Now, Big A, you've seen Dior in person.
Yes.
This dog looks like Dior.
Yeah.
All right. So I gotta go look at Muy Malos. But this is the thing with Muy Malos. All right, so Garner's Carmelo came off of Dynamite and Muy Malos, the second, right? Muy Malos' dad is Dynamite. This is a double-bred Dynamite dog, okay? And then Muy Malos is a littermate sister to Dynamite. So this is a pure Dynamite dog. Now let me show y'all Dynamite. Oh my God. Oh my God again.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people have had success. And this is not the bad Dynamite at all. I love Dynamite stuff. It's pretty much all I run, right? Frisco, Chinaman, Dynamite, Tab. That's all through my blood. So like I would never talk about it in a negative manner. I don't care what was in the mix. The mix works. That's what I'm trying to get at. The mix works. Now moving forward, my dog's gonna be DNA profiled, so this can't happen. All right. And there's rumors that Mr. Garner and the ADBA, there was something they came and tested 11 dogs on his yard, and that the dogs didn't pan out. But they weren't what he said they were. But none of, like what I'm getting at is I love all the old school dog men, but all of them will tell you they have never lied to us. They cared about the functionality of the dog, and if they needed to put papers on a dog to make the breed work on paper, then that's what they did. Do you think that the person that was the jockey for Giacomo was like, Giacomo's not bred the way because he didn't win those races because he wasn't bred the way they said he was bred? I'm gonna yield the floor on that real quick while I scroll down, and we're gonna invest a little more attention into this dynamite stuff.
Yeah, that's a good looking dog, man.
Damn good looking dog.
Yeah.
All right. So we good on the Carmelo, right? I'm gonna go back to Carmelo one more time so y'all can see it. So y'all see Dynamite, and then Frisco by Yoko, but Frisco by Yoko made Dynamite. All right. Frisco by Yoko. All right. And if any of y'all know what Frisco look like, Frisco has that he's a brown dog like this right here too. Very similar look. Almost Frisco almost could go for a tab dog, you know.
Yeah.
Frisco. Notice that. Look at his build, and this is he's not that old because there's a video of Frisco. There's actual like video footage of Frisco on YouTube. You can look at it for yourself. I can pull it up for you. Frisco is probably 5 in this picture right here. There's a video of Frisco like 9 or 10 years old on Mr. Garner's yard. Like it's not a, and this is why I like Frisco so much because I could see him, just like old Tab. You know, White's Tab. I could see him. So I could see how he moved, even in old age. I can see what I expect my dogs to move and act like. All right.
Yeah.
That's why for me, that's why these dogs appealed to me when I was picking up bloodlines I could go off of. The Red Boy bloodline, as much as I like Red Boy dogs, has had nothing but like just controversy behind it from its inception. People saying Red Boy, you know, was a mutt that got paper on, all kind of stuff, man. You know, but these dogs, I can see them. So what I did was I looked at dogs and I looked at traits that I would expect to see in the dogs that were consistent, regardless of blood, just characteristics. And these lines, the lines that I use have those for me, no matter whose yard I went to. All right. And that's what I wanted to kind of get at, just BSing and pontificating on this. Now, Garner's Frisco. So Dynamite, his father is Frisco. His mama is Yoko. Yoko's daddy is Frisco. And his mama is Li Ling. The only difference in his blood is Scooter Red, because Chinaman bred to his daughter made Frisco, or bred to his half daughter made Frisco. Half daughter. Let me rephrase that. Chinaman bred to a half Bolio dog made Frisco. Okay. And then Frisco bred back to his own offspring or his own siblings, made Dynamite right here. All right, moving back into Pedigree to Frisco. Now, Frisco and Tab, for me, Frisco and Tab, they have so many similar qualities. They were both the sons of 4-time winners. Both of the sons of 4-time winners came down off of Eli stuff. They were both grandsons of Eli. Chinaman came off trouble off Eli Jr. to Eli, right? Now, if you look at Jeep's pedigree, it's Bo to Honey Bunch, and then when you look back here, it's going to be Bully Son. Instead of Eli Jr., it's going to be Bully Son right there. And then obviously, China got the snooty stuff right there, but for Honey Bunch, it's going to be more going back into the Eli stuff again. Oh my God again. See, and I'm just looking at this stuff. Can y'all see what I'm hovering my mouth over right now?
Say it again, brother.
Can you see can y'all see what I'm circling?
Yeah.
The name I'm circling right now?
Yeah.
I just learned something looking at this pedigree.
What?
So look at the name I'm running my mouse over. I never paid attention before.
What?
Bully son?
It's already in there.
Yeah.
It's already in there. I've always looked at when I was breeding my males, I always looked at the sire side. So I go, okay, well, Bo and the Honey Bunch are down off of Bully Son. But there's Bully Son and Chinaman. And I was wondering what, like, I'm not trying to brag, but my stuff clicked so well because it's already in the mix.
Yeah.
Then
already part of
the equation. And then I'm always bragging about Mims Red Boy. And anybody who knows Mims Red Boy knows that Mims Red Boy is cuts with Snooty, as opposed, it's got a Snooty influence to it, which goes back to me thinking if I cross my stuff into some Mims Red Boy, it might cook up very well. That's a personal opinion. Okay. But I'm showing y'all what I look at for breedings in the future. For my 2025 breeding, these are things I'm gonna be looking at in pedigrees. And I've never really sat here and gone through a pedigree with y'all about what I look for. But I'm looking, okay, once I see Chinaman or Frisco, cool. I can rock with it. As long as there's at least an eighth of it in there, I can rock with it. All right. But then I start looking at Chinaman, and you got Bolio, which is in both of my lines. It's in my Jeep stuff. Or let me rephrase that. It's in my Joe Woodle Jeep bred dogs, and it's in my Garner bred dogs. Okay? Bolio's already there, Snooty already there, Bully Son already there. So when people talk about scatter breeding, if I go back on the Jeep side, a lot of these same names, Carver's Pistol appears, Arts Missy appears.
Let me ask you this, right?
What's up?
When you come in, you putting together your breedings, getting in your mad scientist mode. For you,
yeah,
how far back are you actually, considering these traits being fluid?
All right.
Especially with your
that's a good question. So I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. All right. So when I'm looking at a dog, right, and this comes from Richard F. Stratton's book. All right. So a lot of my stuff is reference. What I did was, I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm just saying what practices have worked for me based on what I heard. And then, okay, I need to tell you a story to answer your question. So if you tell me, Dre, put a piece of mint in water with Alka-Seltzer in there, and if the mint is starting to wilt, it'll bring the mint back to life, and I try it and it works, then that now becomes my system until I find a better way. Okay? So a lot of people say, Richard F. Stratton wasn't 100% accurate, and no man is 100% accurate. But in his book, he said he looks back 3 generations. Okay? So starting from the dog, going back 3 generations. All right? So what I see here on forward is what it is. Now, the 4th generation pedigree is there, but as long as these last 3 generations were working, then I'm good with that. And the traits in these last 3 generations, I need at least 75%. I need at least 75% of those dogs to have all been the same intensity, vigor, trainability, look, phenotype, animal aggression, bite, wind. This 75% right here, which is the 75% of this dog is dynamite, right? This other 25%, if it's going to be cold, only this 25% right here could be cold. Okay? Or only this 25% right here could be completely different traits. And that's if I'm trying to add something to these traits. So I'm looking for consistency, look, phenotype, feel, durability in these first 3 generations right here. Everything else is just icing on the cake. But typically by then, it's, if you, I don't know if you've ever seen it, if you can look at pair stats on here and it'll tell you what percentages you got. So in them first 3, because this is 75%, right? So that's in the first 3, 50% in the first 3. These 6.25, the woods, trouble and stuff, it's there. It's there. But at this point right here, if you bred a puppy off of it, it cuts this percentage right here in half. Unless you breed to something with the same stuff, then it'll up the percentage, and the next percentage up would be a 12.5. But when it's this minuscule, that's if I try to go open a casino in Vegas right now, I don't have enough of a percentage of indigenous people for who they're allowed to open casinos to open a casino. It's there, but it's negligible. And that's my perspective on it. So
Well said, brother. I'm with you at that practice. Because I'm such a novice when it comes to the pedigrees. To me, I like to just look at my dogs. And, they got complementary traits, or then I go from that standpoint. But, like I said, I'm so new to the idea of one day having my own, lineage of dogs. So I'm a student, a true student. So when I'm asking these questions to the brothers, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't tear me up because of my ignorance.
So that was a good ass question. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what anybody else got to say, but that was a good question, bro. And there's a lot of things I take for granted because when I'm not online with y'all, I'll steal away. Like you'll call me or text me, I'll steal away, and I'll just be looking at these things and seeing them. But I don't even look at it holistically. Like I just saw today that Bolio was already in Chinaman, right? I look for a specific dog. Okay, cool. This dog is there, and this dog acts this way. It's coming from that. Okay, I'm sold on that dog. This trait right here is the trait that sticks out. I rock with that trait. And sometimes it makes me overlook bad traits. That's natural. People do that. But man, like I get excited, man. I thought that Bolio in there, the bully son, because what they said about Chinaman was an excited buyer. And I'm thinking the whole time the Eli Jr. stuff, the whole time bully son's already there.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to y'all about creating a biting pit bull, I told you I just need a little bit of bully son there. And that's probably what my dog bite people so easily is because bully son is already everywhere.
Yeah.
Man, like that's crazy.
Makes sense.
Let me pull up White's tab for y'all as well, because this is another dog that's heavily influencing my blood, And if you look, he looks very similar to Frisco. He's a little more fit than Frisco, and Tab was also missing half of his tail. But if you look at the Honey Bunch stuff, bully son, you know what I'm saying? Now Tab is a Jeep Red Boy cross, so we already know the Red Boy stuff will work with that side of my blood, But I want to talk about up here. I want to get up here and look at this stuff. Now, I don't know a bunch about Mr. Lapasi. All I know is that in my mem stuff, Lapasi dogs was in there. And that's coming straight off of Kobe dogs, straight off of some Kobe stuff. So Lapasi, let me look at this Lapasi's dot. Lapasi's dot, we know where that comes from. Okay, so we got the daddy to Dot is Teal's Jake. Now let me see who his siblings are for Teal's Jake. They don't have it. They don't have it listed. Dang, because I was hoping to see Teal's Jeff, because that would be just more Red Boy stuff, that teal blood. And the reason why I bring that up is if you look at the Kobe Lopate stuff. This is why this cross would actually work, because I look at this Kobe Lapate stuff as being the same as taking a Midlands Outlaw into a Red Boy dog. So I would look at like this would be, to me, a very, very similar outlaw style of breeding to a Red Boy dog. And then you have the Honey Bunch here. So it's a heavy Red Boy influence dog, because G Party has a lot of the same characteristics of a Red Boy dog from his Kobe and Lapase background. And I'll click on Red Boy to show y'all what I'm talking about. Right here, see Teal's Jeff, and then you saw Lopate's Dot has Teal's Joe in there. So if you go back, you got Kobe's Dom, Kobe's Tweety, and then more Kobe's blood right here on the Red Boy stuff. but we can't trust that pedigree because Red Boy has so much behind it. When I start looking at Red Boy dogs, I start looking from Red Boy himself and working my way down, y'all. I don't. If you want to look at what's behind him, you can, but I look at from Red Boy on down. Just like when you're creating a breed, like when the brothers started the American Bullies, you can't start with when they were crossing Staffordshire Terriers to Mastiffs. You have to start with Razor's Edge or Master Seafood or one of those other names that was like, okay, this is the standard. We're going to breed and try to recreate this now. This is the dog. Red Boy was the standard. All right. And then for most of y'all who know or don't know, Red Boy was matched twice. Second match was into actually a female catchweight named Dolly. And what impressed me the most about it was that Red Boy scratched to a female and won. A lot of males won't scratch to a female. This is why I think the gameness of Red Boy is so prevalent. And I'm gonna yield the floor to my brothers real quick while I review this pedigree.
No, you're right, because even I let my dogs play it. Man, Lady gets a little rough with her at times. And man, for the most part, he'll just let her, just whoop her, But every now and again, she gets a little too rough, and he'll let her know something. But for the most part, like you said, these males, they just thinking about hitting their cat.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
Let me I'm gonna put a link in the chat, man, because Solo, I see you down there, bro. And I know if you're not at work, I know it's easier to just say what you got to say than to post it. Also, with me, I'm on the other screen, so I didn't see that link, Supreme, but I'm about to go look at that link you sent me as well.
Sure. Off topic, if you could maybe later on in the show or sometime, in the future, talk about some tips for brothers who have dogs that kind of get along, tips for us to be able to walk our dogs together. I've seen you do it in some of your videos where, you're walking your dogs together. I would be interested in some of those tips.
So your dogs they don't get along?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
They don't?
No, they do get along.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But yeah. Lady, she a lot more high strung than Sir is, but I see him starting to be a lot more interested in things. But that's just one of the things I wanted to master is being able to walk them two together. Of course, being aware of certain trigger obstacles out there, and I would work them before I would walk them. But ultimately, that's a goal of mine to be able to walk them together in the right conditions.
Yeah.
So
you oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I would say that the first step to walking them together is I would walk them together, but I would have separate people handling.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
And then decrease the distance. With mine, Stocky is more dominant than Kamikaze, and because of his size right now, she tries him, but she can't cause hurt. With your dogs being adults, you're gonna be extremely careful. And like I said, the break stick has to be available. And I would start off on short walks at first and gradually extend it. I'm talking about like around down to the stop sign and back. And then all right, down to the stop sign, we hook a right and back. Because what you don't want to do is change the environmental stressors. And I was walking two dogs together one time, man, and it was a dog through a fence that set my two dogs off. And when they set off, since they couldn't get to the dog in the fence, they turned on each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Know your route. And
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I'll keep y'all updated with that progress as well, too.
For sure.
That's just one of those things on my bucket list. Like I said, under right conditions, being aware of my surroundings, so on and so forth. Getting better with my training as well. So that's a goal for my camp with these two hounds that I have right now, because they have the right personality to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Sir. Brother Solo, welcome to the chat. Salute.
Hey, salute to the panel, man. Salute to the
Hey.
brother Dre, the brother Soul Power, Big A,
Hey.
and everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, so Solo, Big A, so I was talking to brother Pimps Over Simps, man, and just so I don't step on y'all and we don't step on each other, and for any brother that comes on the panel in the future, one of the things I wanted to share with y'all is I learned this. You don't have to use this, but it's the terminology I'm going to use to let y'all know when I'm done with my spiel, and it's going to be I yield the floor. You know, it's just a decorum that we use to make sure we're flowing appropriately, because I want to make sure we are the best people and we're educating each other and we are operating in a concise manner. So with that being said, I yield the floor to you, brothers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, I heard what y'all was speaking upon. Yeah, I had a situation like that, man. You know, I was in my Chevy Caprice. I had rolled down to one of my partner's cribs, and I had a female, and I had her 6-month-old son. And they was Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone dogs, and somebody walked past with their dog, and they start fighting each other, bro. You know, I had to drag them out the car, leash one to the fence, and then break the other one off. Where I didn't even have no breaking stick. I had to get like a stick off a tree or something, break something off a tree or something, and I broke one off. You know, and he was my partner, so I'm like, man, you know, watch that dog, you know. And I took the other one to the crib after I broke him off. Then I came back and got the other one, and then from that point, I couldn't even have mother and son together. You know, they hated each other from that point on. And yeah, that's that misplaced aggression. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I was walking one of my dogs the other day, and 2 little pugs was in the yard, and they start getting at each other. You know, my dog, you know what I'm saying? Because they couldn't get at my dog, and I'm like, damn, they rolling amongst themselves. 2 little pugs. I'm like, damn, straight up. But yeah, that misplaced aggression is real, man, and that's why when, you know, me personally, I keep my dogs separated. I might let them, certain dogs intermingle, male and female, when I'm there. I mean, y'all probably hear my boy out there barking. You know what I'm saying? I got his sister right next to him, but they in separate kennels. Sometimes I let him loose because they, you know, he tried to dominate her. And, you know, she the type of dog, you know, she was raised under him because he was already grown when I got her. So she kind of bowed down to him, but she hit anything else, you know, people, dog, anything. But I let them play, you know, I might let them run around the yard. And then my other female that I got, they got kind of a relationship because they was all raised around each other to where they not just at each other, to where I can let my house dog out and I don't got to worry about her fence fighting with my other dogs. And I like that.
Yeah.
But I've had dog like the dog I had before, you know, so I had an Eli Alligator Tonka female. She hated my Red Boy Jocko female from the jump. Cause she was grown when I got my Red Boy Jocko Bolio the Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone female. And it was funny because she was this little puppy trying to hit this grown dog. And we used to just sit up and laugh. I have them separated, of course, but if she seen her, she was at her. So they hated each other from jump. And then the male that I kept when I bred her, like I said about the incident that happened when they hated each other. So I just had like a bunch of dogs that hated each other. And that's tough, man. I don't like that. I like it. I like how I got it now to where my dogs don't hate each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They hate anything off the yard, but you know, I can let my house dog out. I don't got to worry about her fist fighting with the dogs that's in the kennels on the yard. And of course, I want to let my females have contact with each other, but outside of like the kennel. Now, if I let her out now, she can actually, you know, contact my female that's outside through the kennel. But I would never open the kennel and have them outside on the yard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the male, I let him get time with, you know what I'm saying, both of them, you know what I'm saying, when I'm there though, you know, outside of the kennel. But yeah, man, I prefer having it like that versus having dogs that hate each other.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I agree with that, brother.
But if I had
Sorry
the
about that,
old
Big A.
dogs, if I let one out, if I'd have let Cinnamon out and Honey is in the kennel where they fist fighting, you know what I'm saying, they fucking each other muzzles up through the fence. And if I let Honey out and even her son in the kennel, they fist fighting because they hated each other. And that was like, you know, it make it harder to just keep them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to give a little my experience on what I heard y'all talking about.
Oh yeah, no, that's real.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a yard of dogs that tolerate each other than hate each other. You know what I mean? In case of any type of incident where, let's say, a dog got off a chain spot or out of kennel, it just increased the likelihood of it not being a disaster. So, anything else outside of the yard, shit, that motherfucker, that. Oh, excuse my vernacular, but yeah, it's free game. A stray run up on us, you handle your business. That on it, but I much rather it be a tolerance of my y'all. Like you before.
Yeah. And you know, me personally, man, this is just from my personal experience. That's why I'm slow when it comes to taking on new dogs. Because when I was younger, I used to get 2 or 3 dogs at a time, and that's a lot of work just having those dogs alone. Then you got to deal with dogs not liking each other. For me, I just I learned from a good friend of mine. He took one dog. He waited. He went through the process, raised that dog, man, and then mated it. Had his first litter, kept the pup, and took it from there. And his end result, even though he was moving slow, was so much better than mine. And I was just like in awe, and I just really would sit down and just I never really asked him questions, but I would watch, and I saw what I liked out of that. And then when I would take on multiple dogs at one time, like I say, it's a lot of work, and you can't give all of the dogs that proper attention when you working like that solo. So me taking on one dog at a time and then bringing another dog into the picture and weighing out, is it suitable for my living conditions? And what kind of work it would be as far as them getting along together means the world to me, because for what I'm trying to do. I yield.
Cool. Hey, so as far as the dogs get along and stuff, the best number I have is my cousin had 34 dogs for the most part, typically on his yard. And they were all like box worthy, I would say. All his dogs were killers, at least, right? Like I told y'all, he raised the dogs where they stayed with their siblings until they started ending their lives of their siblings, and then they earned their chain spot, right? And so even when they would get off the chain, they were fine as long as they didn't go into one another. But if they went into each other and they stopped before he broke them, then they would be called out of his program. So what a lot of them would do is when they would get off chain, they would just go tear stuff up in the yard, or destroy things. And I'd rather that, man, because typically if you keeping a dog and you fed it for more than any amount of time, there's an emotional attachment there for anybody who loves their animals in that manner, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
And so my thought process is this. I see people whose dogs run together, and I'm like, man, that's cool. The only reservation I have based on the things that I'm into with my dogs is if I'm walking my dog and a dog that poses me a threat comes up, is my dog going to dispatch that animal until I can get to a weapon so that I can do what I need to do, or so we can get out of that situation, right? Because for me, everything I do is based upon my life, not based upon, like, historically speaking, these dogs should be able to whoop anything in. And if you're breeding them if you're breeding fast lane bulldogs, then no, they shouldn't be playing together. All right. Let me say that first and foremost. If you consider yourself fast lane and your dogs are playing together, I would be skeptical about buying a dog from you. But if you're breeding them just for the preservation of the breed, or like me, I have a direction with my kennel where the gameness is it needs to be in the bloodline, but I don't necessarily care how game mine are as long as they're not curs. Okay, and the only way to make a cur is to start it and it quit, if that makes sense. So for my dogs, if they play together, cool. If they don't, cool. But the goal is that if I'm walking my dog, I want a utility dog. There are 13 different trails here in Tucson, Arizona that are 18 miles. Some of them are 20 miles there and back. There are javelina, wild dogs, cougars, all kind of stuff. Coyotes. There's all kind of stuff, and I need my dog to be able to dispatch an animal possibly bigger than it, right? Because I carry 90% of the time I'm concealed carrying, and I don't expect my dog to fight off anything, person or animal, without me being beside it. We're a tandem unit, but that them being able to play with each other is nice, because then if my dogs both get on your ass, now you really got a problem. And that's the way I look at it. But there are also a lot of things that can go wrong with that situation as well. And with all that being said, I yield the floor.
Hey,
Yeah.
one of my
go ahead.
sentiments as far as even staying on my yard, I don't do nothing illegal with my dogs, but I live in the inner city, and I'll be walking through the gutter. It's irresponsible owners. It's all type of dogs, that can be loose and run up. And if some run up on us and you leave me open to be attacked, you're not getting a bowl of feed in my house, point blank. Because I got dogs that I know for a fact that ain't gonna happen. It's because this dog might have rabies. It might attack me. Anything. So if you leave me open to attack, I feel like you're not showing me the same loyalty and protection that I show. Because let's say it's 2 or 3 dogs and they jump on my dog. I'm finna pick up something. I'm finna be, what the brother Dre alluded to, it's gonna go down. I'm not gonna leave you out here to get all to death by 3 motherfuckers that ran up on us. I'm gonna be smacking boards. We're gonna go to, but if you gonna cur out on me, and not gonna protect me, you gotta go. And I'm not saying I'm gonna give you to a nice owner. I'm gonna put you on Craigslist or some shit like that. You gotta go. You ain't staying here if you ain't gonna protect me. You know what I mean? And do what you're supposed to do while we walking through these trenches. Because I got American Pit Bull Terriers, so that's the least aspect. I shouldn't have to worry about, especially an animal running up and you ain't gonna do nothing. What I got you for? You gotta go. Straight up. You gotta go. You gotta go immediately. That day you going on Craigslist, I'm gonna give you to a nice pet owner. Because you ain't what I'm looking for. But with that, I yield the floor.
Yeah, man. As far as the dogs playing together, man, I've seen this on multiple occasions. I've seen it time and time again. You got a pup, or you got 2, a pup that's coming up, might be 7, 12 months, 13 months, and the dog is just, running around playing with your dog or playing with the neighbor's dog, and it's all good. It's always been all good from day one. And then that one day things change just by a snap, and the dog turns on, and you get a different result than them just playing together. You in your mind, they all good, So watching and paying close attention to your dog, especially when their pups coming of age, because at any given time things could change. It could go from a friendly situation to a real hostile situation. I've seen it time and time again. But yeah, I yield the floor.
Hey, I want to, man.
Oh, go ahead, man.
So you go ahead. Don't be long-winded.
Yeah, so I would even add to, like, for myself, one thing I'm ever present of is the fact that at any moment it can change. So I allow my dogs to wrestle and be a little rough with each other, but I'm always paying attention to that mannerism. Once you can sense when your dogs ain't playing no more. And before I ever let it get there, I separate them. You know what I mean? just at the command of my voice, like, hey, that's enough, chill out, and they'll stop, because I just know it take 1 second for it to go really bad. And being that my male is so much bigger than my female, and I could be dealing with a disaster where I got 2 dead dogs on my damn yard because I was being negligent and allowing my dogs to play a little bit past, what I think that's the okay level. And always being ever present, you know what I mean? Just being a good student to these dogs, or a steward to these dogs, understanding that I'd be a fool to just let my dogs run around each other, with no supervision, keeping them together. So if I'm not home, I won't even let my dogs interface with each other. My kids, my wife, they can't do it. No, it's got to be me. I
Yeah,
yield the
total,
floor,
total
brother.
separation. That's how I do
Yeah,
mine. When I'm not there, like I said, when they do interact, I'm there, directly
yeah,
monitoring. But when I'm not there, or in just day-to-day living, total separation. I mean,
yeah,
if you got American Pit Bull Terriers, that's how it got to be.
yeah,
Otherwise, you end up like, dog. I seen a situation where, one male fucked a younger male. Like,
yeah,
got stuck in it.
yeah,
Like, man, I was shocked and
yeah,
surprised. But I'm like,
yeah.
man, you should have never You should have never let two males, bro. Man, listen, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I breed and I keep a boy off my boy, I'm not even. I'm not gonna. I don't trust my male, bro. He gonna be aggressive with the motherfucker, so he ain't gonna even be around it. I might bring it to the
Yeah,
kennel, let him sniff it and shit when it's little, but I'm not gonna let him run around with my male. You're not gonna have
yeah,
a chance to punk out my male, bro. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because it's a pit bull. What you expect? It's gonna dominate, or I wouldn't let two males, you know what I'm saying, run around together. If two males are run around and play and frolic together, I don't want them males. I'm gonna be real with you straight up. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Two grown males? Nah. Hell no. Nah.
Yeah.
I yield the floor, bro.
Yeah, real quick. I just was saying that for mainly the Karens, and mainly, the people that get the dogs and they, they letting them run around. Oh, it's this and that. He never do anything or she never do anything, and then all of a sudden, But yeah, I yield the floor.
Man, I
Hey,
mean,
so
I read articles and I see comments sometimes, and it's like, okay, yes, the environment and the person that raised them has an influence on the animal, but genetics has an influence as well. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I mean, it's certain like honey. You know what I mean? Certain dogs. I mean, they not finna be amicable around other animals. Pure point blank. I don't give a fuck who got this motherfucker. This motherfucker finna test something up if you got it around them
at
because it's
some
in their
point in
blood.
time. Yep.
So I mean, it's just like if you get a good bred border collie. I mean, this motherfucker been bred to herd sheep and cattle for 150 years. His parents and grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents, all of that, they've been doing that. So you got it in your home, and you wondering, you might got 3 kids. It's nipping at their heels. Especially when they see you yelling at them, it's nipping at their heels. It's in them. It's in their genetics to corral, gather. Especially when I'm seeing my alpha of the pack, you know what I'm saying, disciplining or getting aggressive, and then it's aggressive. No, it's not aggressive, bro. It's just you got a border collie, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a good bred border collie. So it's in his genetics to gather and to corral. The same thing with American Pit Bull Terriers. It's in their genetics to be aggressive to another animal. So I don't give a fuck how you raise it. Some dogs, you ain't gonna be able to have them around all the animals. Point blank. I mean, and if you got a pit bull and you're expecting it to be something, are you gonna be upset because come on, man. You get a golden retriever or something. If you want that kind of dog. You want a dog that you can take to the dog park and be around the kids and all, you know what I'm saying, all of that, you know, you might need to get another breed. You get a game bred pit bull. I mean, I had game dogs that looked at kids like another animal because it was something within that size range. And it was dangerous, and it was kind of like, wow, that's kind of, but, you know, it happens. Now, I have other game dogs that don't look at kids like that, and I like that more. Matter of fact, I got a dog now. She is totally aggressive with anything off the yard, but when I walk her, I notice how she acts to other animals, total aggression. But to kids, she recognizes them as something different, and she don't be on that. You know what I mean? I seen like women walking their kids, or you know what I'm saying. I walk past like daycare centers that got like, you know, the big yard with all the jungle gyms and stuff like that for the kids. And I know it's a fence protecting them. So but at the same time, looking at my dog and seeing how she reacting to these kids that's out on the yard as I'm walking past this yard with a fence, you know, protecting the kids, but I'm still looking at my dog. And I'm knowing that it's a difference between how she would act if those were dogs in that yard. And I like that. But I've had other bulldogs that was, kids is on the menu too. And it's like, wow, it's dangerous, you know, but, you know, it's kind of understandable because, you know, it's a pit bull, but I like this one more because she has a differentiation between humans and dogs and animals, you know. But with that, I yield the floor.
Hey, so man, Solo, you covered that well, and even Tony M in the chat was saying that those dogs, like you said, genetics. You can take a herding dog, and it will naturally get bored without being trained at all and start herding children. If you have livestock, this is natural. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about was there's genetics, and then there's animal communication skills that a lot of people lack. And I want to share something with y'all today. I probably shared it before, but I want to share it again because I got to start reinforcing this. I've made mistakes. I put dogs in the wrong hands. I put them in the hands of people who should never have owned pit bulls. I probably should never own pit bulls, right? But anyways, so there's this thing called pack structure, which is not a part of training. It's a part of maintenance. And if y'all know my training strategy, it is training, maintenance, and healthcare. They are all separate things that you got to be familiar with, but they all coincide. Now, the reason why pack structure training is so important is this. And a lot of bites happen with people. People cause a lot of kids to get bit. And I want to just tell y'all a reason, a way, not the only way, right? A way that this occurs is in a wolf pack or in an animal pack, even with wild dogs, the alpha male leaves the den first, enters the den first, eats first. But he also greets other animals, wolves, or dogs in the pack in order of their rank. Now, what a lot of pet owners do is they get home, they let their dogs run the house freely, and when the dog greets them, they let the dog greet them first. In my household, I greet my wife, then my kids in order of age, then the dogs in order of age. Now, what I'm doing is, as the alpha for my pack, because the dog don't see you as family, the dog sees you as his pack. All right? My alpha female, my beta male, the other betas, and then him wherever he's at in the pack, and then the omega is behind him. And I kid you not, I'll give you an example of how this works. I can feed Saki first and let Kamikaze run freely. She will not attack him as he eats. If I feed Kamikaze first and Saki sees her trying to eat before him, he is going to put her back in her place every single time. But what happens is when people let their dog greet them first before their kids and their wife, they're teaching their dog that you're my second in command. So if a child tries to run up to you to hug you, and you've taught this dog, allow this dog to believe that it's your second in command, that dog is doing its job. Hey, this person tried to jump the line, boss. Don't worry, I got it. I'll fix this. And with that central thought, I yield the floor.
Even coming into your house from a walk, you're supposed to come into that house first before the dog, because regardless to what we've bred into these animals over the last 100 years or 200 years or whatever, it's still a pack animal because it descends from a wolf. And a wolf is a structured animal. And a wolf, you know what I'm saying, understands that there's an alpha, there's a second in command, is there on and therefore. So what the brother is saying is correct. And when what he's putting into his dog mind is you are below these people in the social hierarchy. You know, so you should act accordingly. You know, when you let a lot of times when somebody says, "Oh, dog turned on me," no, it didn't turn on you. You just didn't establish the structure to this animal. You didn't let this animal know that you the alpha. So it's thinking it's the alpha. So when you get out of line, it's going to discipline you versus you being the alpha and discipline them when they get out of line. And that goes to a pit bull too, because even though the natural structure has been kind of warped due to the breeding of these animals, it's still, I mean, let's say you got 200-300 years of what we bred into them. We as being pit bull fanciers or pit bull breeders or whatever, it's still thousands of years of natural instinct into these animals before that 200-300 years, which is a structure of a pack leader or alpha. And with that, I'll lead to I yield the floor.
Yeah, man. Also we're having a pack structure based off of speaking of wolves and whatnot, and you do have the alpha, depending on how many dogs you have, it's always going to be an upcoming dog or whatnot shooting for that number one spot in some form or manner. Dog always test the alpha at some point in time, you know. Yeah, I yield the floor.
My male feel like he the alpha. You know, I got a male and 2 females. You know, and I got a female that's his half sister that's bigger than him now. But I noticed, I mean, it been times where, okay, I let y'all out. I'm out here cleaning up or whatever. I let y'all out while I'm cleaning up on the yard. And he trying to dominate her, and then she snapped back, and I'm like, okay, get that kennel. She listen. You know what I'm saying? She gonna jump in that kennel. I can lock it up because it's getting too serious. And with him being my male, I respect that though. You know, I don't want him to be no mog on the yard. You know, you the male, females. I'm the alpha, of course. And even he's kind of like the type of dog that if you give him some food, bro, he's just an aggressive dog. But if I got him in the crib, which he's been outside for quite a while, but when I had him in the crib, let's say I put a plate on my little, it's like a mini desk type of thing that I might, you know what I'm saying, while I watch TV, put my plate on. He's not gonna fuck with it while it's on that plate because you know I'm the alpha. But if
Yeah,
it dropped to the flow, or if I give it to him, now he's super aggressive. He gonna put, and I don't hate him for that because I want him to be I want him to be an alpha. But by him not, let's say if I leave my plate on that desk, right, he in the crib, and I go in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying, to get some Kool-Aid or some or whatever, he not gonna fuck with that plate. He not gonna jump on there and get that because hey, it ain't been given to me. That's it. That's his.
yeah,
But what is his? He gonna aggressively defend that. If I give him a steak, hell yeah, you can't. And it's like, okay, he an animal. You know, I'm gonna
yeah,
let him have this. I'm gonna let him have that aspect. But he respect me. And now, if he jump on that plate, and if he jump on my shit, get my shit, then okay, yeah. Now you think you're the alpha, nigga. Now it's got to be, you know. But other than that, I let him feel like he the alpha under me. I'm the alpha of the yard. You the second in command. These females under you. And my females, they aggressive in a motherfucker, but they honor that structure too. I don't let them run around without me there, and they don't get a lot of contact outside, like free contact. You know what I mean? Because I know they pit bulls, but when I do allow that, I let him kind of take that second in command role of the yard. And if he didn't do that, as a male, you know, I would probably feel like, okay, you a mob. You know, I might have to go to a pet home. I like my male because he assumed his role. He got a jolly ball. He possessive about that jolly ball. But at the same time, I understand that because that's his. You know.
Yeah.
But when I come in the crib, when I'm walking, because I got to take him through the crib to get to the yard to put him back in his kennel. Nigga, I'm coming in first. So, you know, I'm going in first. You know. So I still make sure he understand I'm the alpha. Even though you a monster, I understand that you're an alpha male, but you know, I'm the ultimate alpha. But I'm not going to stop you from being what you are, which is an alpha male of a pack. And with that, I yield the floor.
Yeah. Speaking of alpha, one of the dog men that I got pretty much the majority of my hands-on experience and knowledge from had a dog named 50, and 50 was a real good dog, man. He put all his time into him, well-trained dog, but he had at any given time anywhere between 25 to 30 plus dogs on the yard. And he had, I want to say it was about eight kennels in the front, chain, you know, with the chain spot and the whole nine. And those dogs that were there, he would give them premium food. He would, you know, give them the top end food. Now he had dogs running loose throughout his yard. He stayed, you know, in a trailer park, and he stayed at the very end, like it's a wooded area. So, you know, if you go down there, you're going down there to see him and nobody else. And the dogs that would be running around would always be pups, you know, no more than 12 months, 13 months, because usually they're gone before then. And the dogs, the pups, you know, the dogs that's running around loose, he would feed them like cheap dog food, you know, Alpo or whatever. Just get a big bag and slice it and just throw it on the ground, and they, you know, and they have at it. So, and all of his dogs that he was really working were in the back behind, you know, in the wooded area away from the front of the yard. And the pups that will run around eventually will get the gall to, you know, try to get some of that premium food. And it would always be, you know, a yard accident, so to speak. And you know, he kept it 100. If the pup got the best of the dog on the chain, then the dog on the chain loses his spot. It's got to move, you know what I'm saying? And the pup takes the spot. So he would keep that gladiator deal, and you know, it's still, you know, a form of the pack structure. Now 50 was his boy. 50 would stay with him, you know, sleep with him, you know, in the house, and 50 was the alpha dog on the yard. Mind you, he had dogs that were better than 50, you know, as far as physique and capability, but 50 was their dog. So, you know, 50 runs around, he runs the yard, and you could tell that dogs knew his position on the yard. But they would still try 50. You know, some dogs would, you know, they lose. Some dogs would try 50. And I can remember times where some of those dogs that were better than 50 would get the best of 50. And, you know, Mikey, he was, you know, he taught me a valuable lesson. You know, he always kept 50's confidence up. So if they got the best of 50, if he had to hold that other dog so 50 could get the best of that dog, he would hold that dog so 50 could get the best of that dog. 50 never 50's tail would always be up, moving around the yard, never down, and that was a form of pack structure. Fit when you will show up to the yard, 50 would be the dog to greet you, as soon as you touch the yard. So, just made me think about the pack structure and how these dogs are, their mentality and the way they move and pack structure and whatnot. Yeah, I yield the floor.
Muted, Dre.
Oh yeah. Hey, shout out to Ben, man, Big Brockton, man. Thanks for the tip. Real talk, man. Tip.
Tip. You muted, Dre.
Hey, Phil, I appreciate you, bro. Hey, and then Brother Supreme said he followed the Ben train. Tip. Hey, let's go.
Hey.
Brother Ben, Brother Supreme. Supreme, I know you said you needed one of these. You said you needed a break stick. All right. So for those of y'all who need things, man, please like this chat. Let us know, man. If you need a hide, man, I got hide sitting right here next to me. Brother Vinny hits me up consistently. Members, I'll send y'all a free hide as often as I can. Typically, that's probably you probably only need one a month. If you cut it up, you cut it into quadrants and use it. But yeah, man, that's something easy. But for those of y'all who don't have break sticks, please, if y'all need them, these are on Amazon. What I would like to do is I get paid this Friday. I'll go ahead and order 3 or 4 sets of them. They come in sets of 2. Y'all just pay the shipping or whatever for members, and then if you're not a non-member, obviously you're gonna pay the price for it. But yeah, man, these are things that once you got them, you got them. The hides, they last a decent amount of time. You're not gonna, unless you just let the dog have it and keep it in its chain spot. That hide's gonna last you for a decent amount of time. By the time you need another one, you would have paid enough into the chats or paid enough into the memberships that you already paid that off. All right. But yeah, man, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it pushing. I appreciate y'all. Aside from that, I also want to welcome my cousin Pimps Over Simps to the chat. Pimps, salute. Welcome to the panel. With that, I yield the floor.
Salute, brother.
Salute.
What's good? How y'all feeling?
Chilling, man. Chilling, bro.
That's
Good, brother. I like that name, brother.
Thank you.
Pimps Over Simps. Yeah, for sure.
Always.
Hey, man, I wanted to add this to the mix before we carry on. I would employ everybody, if you in the state or if you unable to carry, open or concealed carry, and keep you a blade on you at least when you walk on your animals, just in case. You keep you a break stick and you keep you a blade, man. If your dog getting jumped, it ain't nothing worse than you out there trying to figure out what you can get. Dog, I put that damn blade right in the dog rib cage real quick.
Yeah, ride with your hounds like they ride for you, bro. Like I said, I ain't gonna leave mine out there in deep waters. You getting jumped, nigga, we getting jumped. But if you ain't acting like a bulldog, you got to get the fuck away from here for sure. But if you acting like a bulldog like you're supposed to, I'm gonna give you that same love you give me, straight up. You motherfucker gotta be dispatched. Whether picking up something that's around or whatever. Yeah, man, that's good knowledge, man. You can still carry, keep you a thing on you, or keep you a knife, keep you 2 breaking sticks. I keep 2 breaking sticks on me. There's been situations where motherfuckers ran up and my bulldogs handled the business. I'm talking about to the point where people around like, damn, that motherfucker biting. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Solo, I gotta break the decorum, Solo. Do y'all call him a banger where y'all from? You know what I'm talking about? Does anybody else know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Me,
yes, sir.
honestly, bro, a banger like in a joint they call, you know what I'm saying, them things a banger. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Yeah.
Somebody that made a knife or some kind of blade out of something. But on the streets, you know what I'm saying, you know,
Yeah, in
a
the
sword,
streets.
you know, in the streets, man, you know, them
Yeah,
things.
that's
You
that
gotta have
goddamn.
that's you gotta, yeah, you know, in the streets, man, you gotta have them tools, man. In the
Yeah,
penitentiary, you know,
man.
brothers ain't got access to them real tools like that. So a banger is that blade, that knife, you know, made
Okay.
out of, you know, but in the, you know, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You know, hey, you know, I ain't trying to
That's it.
victimize nobody, but I ain't trying to be a victim either, nigga. Point motherfucking blank. So,
Facts.
yeah, I'm coming with what you coming with. With that, I yield the floor.
Touch
Hey,
yourself.
Solo, thank you for clarifying that, bro.
No problem, bro. I love y'all niggas, man, with this stuff, man. It might be a little abrasive, but I'm gonna be real, bro. You know, it's a positive movement, you know, and I'm with that. Yield the flow.
Yes, sir.
You ain't abrasive,
Hey,
bruh. You just a man. You a man. We supposed to be abrasive. Iron sharper than iron.
yep. And sometimes sparks don't fly. You know what I'm saying? When you sharpen an iron, man, everything is supposed to be just smooth sharpening. And that's why, like Brother Ben said, you know, Ben, I need you to go check out Soul's shows, the spot episodes, man, because on there I reveal some stuff that I don't talk about on this channel, but I'm going to share it with you because I think it needs to be said and it needs to be reiterated over and over again. I grew up around a bunch of women. I had my grandfather around, but like he was an old man. And so I never learned how to joke because joning is something that brothers do, you know. And in that episode, it was a brother walking down Ram and Soul was, you know, and another brother we used to rock with. They was cracking on each other. I was like, bro, I don't really know how to do this because when I was a kid, I used to get mad and just fight. I was a nuclear kid, you know. You throw a rock, I'm gonna hit you with a brick. And so the whole trolling thing and stuff, brother, being like, it's not that I don't appreciate it, I don't realize the value in it. I just don't have an expertise in it. And I never was shown what's appropriate versus what's not appropriate. Mind you, when it comes to jokes, all things are fair game, right? But at the same time, with the decorum I'm trying to raise here, I never learned how to joke. I just didn't, you know. But I enjoy a good joke. And I appreciate all y'all for the growth and prosperity of the channel and the growth and prosperity of other men around you. You're the average of the 5 people you're around the most, so make sure they're a good average to have. And that being said, I yield the floor.
Hey, Ben Brockton, I got something to say to you, man. I'm not trying to turn the chat negative, but you made a comment in Going Hard Kennels in the Shark Tank about me saying that I wasn't fucking with the twins no more. That's not true. And you know, if somebody else said it and you thought I was them somehow or some weird shit, you need to let that be known. But don't lie on me, man. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, family. I'm not gonna mention it no more. But you know, I didn't appreciate that, man. You know, I fucks with the twin. I fuck with particularly Mike. You know what I'm saying? Mike did some real shit in the cut for me that I really appreciate that. You know, I respect Mo. I respect Going Hard Kennels. And don't do that to me, man. Don't lie on me, man. You know, I don't appreciate that shit, bro, because you flat out lied on me. You flat out said in the chat, that I said I wasn't fucking with Going Hard Kennels no more, which was a flat out lie, bro. I've been contributing to that channel. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a supporter of that. So don't do that to me, man. Don't lie on me, man. I understand you trolling a little bit. You keep the chats popping. And, you know, sometimes, you know, I fuck with you a little bit on that, but don't do that no more, man. Don't lie on my name, man. You know, don't do that. And with that, I yield the flow, brothers.
All right. Hey man, and that goes back to the sparks flying thing, man. Like we're gonna have disagreements here, man. And Solo, I would hope that you and Ben would talk offline as well. That's not required, man. I'm not asking you to do nothing, but I genuinely respect you, Solo, and I know Brother Ben's stance on things. And Ram had to teach me that because I don't understand troll culture. I don't see the purpose in it personally, right? But I understand it does keep things popping. It keeps them vibrant. It keeps them live. And so I hope that y'all brothers can chop it up offline as well, man. And that would
I don't
y'all
know
boys be wilding,
offline,
man.
and frankly, brother, I'm not interested in chopping up with the brother offline for now. But the brother, I mean, he flat out lied on me, man. I mean, I swear he did.
Copy.
I wouldn't say that if he didn't, bro. He flat out just, I never said it, bro. I never said anything pertaining. I support going hard, bro. You look solo but connected, bro. I probably done spent over $100-some just in super chats. And I'm not just saying that to try to boost myself up, but I'm just keeping it real. I fucks with that. I fucks with Pelican Bay. That's like if somebody said that I wasn't fucking with Samurai. I mean, I would be heated about that, bro. Like, what you mean I'm not supporting Samurai? And I feel the same way about going hard, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said that. I'm not trying to make the chat negative. It's a positive chat. But you did that. It's receipts to that. You know what I'm saying? It can be found on the chats. If need be, I even do it. Because I work 8 hours in front of the computer anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I can do that anyway. But I'm keeping it real, man. And I don't appreciate that, man. Don't come on here putting words in my mouth that I didn't say, man. I understand you troll a little bit. I understand you got knowledge about bulldogs. That's cool, bro. Just don't do that to me, man. Don't put me in situations where you're trying to pit me against people that I support. Whether it be Samurai, Going Hard, Pelican Bay, J-Bo, whatever. I fucks with all of them brothers. I don't got nothing against none of them. And I'm not going to, don't do that.
Copy that. But yeah, man. In the spirit of keeping it positive, I won't even mention no more. It's done. But we're gonna press, man, because like the brother spoke his piece, and I thought it was, and I think that's fair, man. Like I'm not here to censor y'all, but I just want to make sure we doing it the right way, man. But I'm gonna push this along. One of the things I did want to mention was I have a list coming out. I did the list the last 2 years, and I've asked for everybody to start building a list. I think this year it could get volatile, and I want to warn y'all that if you're involved in this, it could get volatile, but not from our side. And what happened is I ranked the 10 best dog channels on YouTube. Okay, that's going to be coming out next month. And it's based upon not just views, not just subscribers, but the quality of the content, the crowd interaction, what's done for the community, how far reaching is it? It's a qualitative review. However, there are numbers involved. Some channels are just naturally bigger than others. I also wanted to do the Rookie of the Year channel and try to highlight a channel that's been in circulation for a year, maybe 18 months or less, right? So if y'all know those channels, please hit me up offline and send me those channels because I want to make the most accurate list possible. There's people who were on my list last year that I got phone calls about, like, how is this person on here, but this person not on there? And that's why I'm putting it out front now, like, okay, cool. Maybe I'm not tracking what you're tracking. Let me know prior to Thanksgiving. I'm going to release probably the top 10 dog trainers in November. And then I wanted to release the best 10 channels on YouTube for the American Pit Bull Terrier, like New Year's Eve. You know what I'm saying? Bottom Boy, big shouts out to you. But with that being said, I'm going to throw that out there and let y'all cook that portion of it.
Yes, sir, man. I wanna do an all-time great, where it is a popular. I mean, it'd be just for fun, but it'd be a popularity thing, or even just you pulling out your best dogs, whatever videos or photos you have of the best dogs you ever had on your yard, just having an all-time great, segment. People can, reminisce, I guess you could say. I think it'd be some good stories to come from that too. Yeah.
Hey man, honestly, I probably watch more bully channels than APBT channels, man. Just some trail stuff, man. I've seen too much pettiness and things like that as far as the APB channels, and I see, things that I'm not agreeing with as far as how men interface with each other. Yeah, man, I can't support it. So I probably couldn't even add any value to that list, brother.
Yeah, and so that's why I wanted to clearly separate it, man, because so for me, I follow American Pit Bull Terrier channels and I follow dog trainer channels, and they don't necessarily coincide, man. And it's on both sides. There's a lot of craziness, bro. But I want to release the dog trainer stuff for the people in my chat who are interested in training or train already. And I want to release the top 10 American Pit Bull Terrier channels just because it's an opinion-based thing. It's a polling thing, right? But it does stimulate conversation. It raises awareness too, and it's also a big hats off to the brothers who are putting in work. We see you, and kind of I'm a competitor. I want to know where I stand in things, And so the only way to know where you stand other than self-validation, which is the best form of validation, is to compete.
Yeah.
I don't, and with that, I yield the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, man. As far as all the drama and all that other stuff on the channels, man, I turn a blind eye to it. I'll try not to entertain it at all. It's crazy when you let things live in your head rent free when it wasn't your original goal. But hey, chill out. I yield the floor.
We could be so much stronger together, man. A
Yeah.
lot of brothers, a lot of people got a lot of good channels right now, man. This Pitbull online community could be really strong together, man. And I'm all in support of that. That's what we should be doing. That digital dog show was so powerful, and it needs to continue forever. It's something that brothers can showcase their dogs in a positive and legitimate spotlight. It's something that ignites competition. Even having how your dog look, we can see whether you've been working that dog, brother. We can see it, and we can, it's a beautiful thing, man. It can be such a beautiful thing. But I think the trolling stuff is not cool, bro. I think we need to have facts and stuff like that when we accuse other brothers. And I think that we need to try to unite as much as we can, because there's certain individuals that don't want to see our breed even allowed to exist. I mean, a lot of municipalities got, anti-pit bull legislation to the point where you can't even have a pit bull. And there's a lot of people that feel like these dogs should be stamped out. And the people that have love for the breed needs to unite to stump that out. And we can't unite if you got trolls that's purposely just spreading falsehoods. It should be to the point where, okay, if you got something to say about somebody, if it's not nothing that's proven or nothing that's has any merit to it, that should be looked at negatively, because you are bringing division to the pit bull community. And we need more unity, because we literally have a breed of dogs that's under attack by elements in the society, bro. To the point of where they banned in certain countries and certain little counties and cities and within America. It's crazy. And we can't afford to have that, that division being stroked, because I look at it like this. I mean, we all love this breed. We all proclaim to love this breed. The people that, be on these chats and be in all these different Going Hard, Fat Bill, J-Bo, Pelican Bay, whatever. We should have a common unity to the point of where if we lodging insults at each other, should be based off merit If not, it should be shamed to fun by the whole kind of, you know, because we need each other. Otherwise, you know, these elements that hate our breed can get stronger to the point of where they, you know, banning our breed in more municipalities. You know, and that'd be a shame. And with that, I yield the floor.
Hey, I gotta give a special shout out to Twins. They in the building. Shout out to Going Hard Kennels Reloaded, man. Thank y'all for coming through and gracing us with y'all presence, bro. We appreciate you. And I also want to say that brother Ben, I'm not gonna post that last one, man, because I'm not trying to add no more fuel to the fire, man. What I do want to do is I want to talk about what Solo just talked about, and that's the solidarity. I don't know if we'll ever have a solidarity in our community, but what I can ensure is that from my side, that's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm working toward. But I do got smoke. Since we're letting smoke off, I do have smoke from one of the legendary brothers, and it's Twin. If you need to come over here, Twin, I'll put the link in there, man, because what I'm about to say is going to affect another dog channel that I don't know personally. And I need to make it clear, I don't know this person personally. I just know that this individual, I have a lot of respect for him. He's old, he's an OG, and I can't get a hold of him. And that's Triple J, right? And I've been trying to get a hold of Triple J because Triple J he's his own platform. Like let me start by first by saying Triple J is his own platform. All right. Triple J been dropping knowledge for years on YouTube, and I watched the shows. He made a comment about the rap and drugs getting the dog game that people didn't like. I didn't like the comment. They didn't make me stop listening to him. And it's obvious that he felt the opinion of people because he had to address it on his next video that he posted after the fact. So I know he hears the people. But when you say things like training these dogs up like Lassie, like I train my dogs, right? And I do things that are not necessarily the way of the American Pit Bull Terrier. But hog hunting, if you want to be 100% like, just you can't blanket people like that. You can say whatever you want to say, but you also have to be willing to hear the retort. And I can't get a hold of the brother, just talk to him. So I'm going to say what I say, and where it goes, it goes. I bet you he gets his message, though, because that's how social media works. Hog hunting is something I would really like to get into. Your channel is probably one of the ones that glorifies it the most, and you do a good job at it. And I like your dogs. I like the idea and commonality and talking about the hog hunting. But if you're going to bash what I do and you can't show me what you do openly, then I do take that as a slight. Because when you have that much influence and you speak down on something that I'm doing, that I use the Jay-Z thing. Like if you have influence, like even if you don't mean it to affect this person, it does. So when you blanket it, and you paint a broad term like that, you got zealots that follow. Every single channel has zealots that follow them. And those zealots will literally would do anything to prove their loyalty to whether they vocally or non-vocally pledge fealty to that person. And when I see these things, I'm like, man, bro, like I don't want to. At first, I was like, okay, he's talking about everybody. It can be, but for that channel, getting the money together for the lawyers and stuff, I'm like, that's great. That's a great movement. But how can you see the positivity in that and not see the positivity of what we do over here? I would like to speak to the brother. I'm not going to bash his name ever because he drops straight good information. But I just really need to get a hold of him because I'm like, bro, I think that's the solidarity that Solo's kind of talking about, where if I could just link with him and just have a conversation, we're both common sense kind of people. You know what I'm saying? Very, very just straightforward kind of people. I'm a little bit more political, but that's it. Welcome to the chat, Twin. Twin, can you hear us?
Yeah, shout out to the twins. Shout out to the twins, man.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Can you hear me? I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You must have made Miss Young mad.
Yeah, she bit the shit out of me. Bit the top of the shit out of me, man.
Oh, let me address Brother Arrowhead. So I was saying, Brother Arrowhead, I'm trying to get a hold of Triple J. I want to have a conversation with him because I think that he kind of lumps the other channels in together, and we're all different. And I kind of wanted to just talk to him about the like, you know, like the I don't believe they should be trained for bite work and all this stuff. That's cool. I agree with it. Like, I don't think all dogs should be. I don't think they should be trained for bite work either. But if I can't get mentorship from you, go ahead, twin. Okay.
Since Twin ain't in right now, I'm just gonna put my opinion in. Man, do what you do, man. If you're gonna train these motherfuckers to be attack dogs or whatever, just know that you got a responsibility behind that. Make sure your fences is tight. Make sure your kennels is tight. Make sure you have the utmost respect for your neighbors and the community to the point of where you understand the responsibility of the animals that you got and that you train them to be. And do you, man. Fuck what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's the difference between you having a pit bull and having a Malinois or a German Shepherd or a Doberman Pinscher or any other breed that's been bred for that? Okay, you taking something that's been bred for something else and you going another route with, okay. As long as these dogs ain't loose and attacking nobody and they're a threat to the community because you own keeping them secure and making sure that you got the proper materials to keep them away from being able to harm the community, fuck what somebody talking about, man. Fuck them. Straight up. Fuck them. That's what I say, you know. And I'm sorry to like I said, be a little abrasive and maybe blow up the show. I'm not going to say no more swear words. But that's how I feel, bro. You know the responsibility of what you got. From what I seen, you keeping it secure. So, man, you know, they got to hate on you, man. Fuck, you know, so, you know, it's somebody, listen, man, in this world, it's literally a group of people that hate you before you even born. I'm not saying Triple J. I'm not saying no particular individual, but just because of what you are genetically. Like, you know, it's people that's going to hate you just for that. So it's always going to be hate. But as long as you ain't on Pelican Bay News because your dog done got loose and chewed up somebody's kid or something like that, man, they ain't got nothing to say to you, man. Plenty of people got dogs bred for security and protection of different breeds, you know. If you're using a pit bull for that, you got a right to do that, bro. As long as you secure and you know, if I was living on a block with you, my only concern would be, okay, is this brother putting the money in to make sure that these motherfuckers can't get loose and attack me and my wife and my kids? If the brother got a fence put up and kennels and, you know, you ain't never seen them loot, hey, that's him. And with that, I yield the floor.
Hey, so you know
Man.
what's crazy about that? Go ahead, Big A.
No. Go ahead, bro.
Now I was gonna say, you know what's the craziest thing to me, and it's this is a logic thing, man. The crazy thing to me is a lot of people will say, like, man, like I don't think you should train them to do that. None of them, if they couldn't do it, I wouldn't be able to train them. And the scary part is how many people have them that are not trained to have off switch. That's the scary part. Like how you were saying, like you saw the one that would see kids and like kids were just prey to them. Like it's the training, all the training does is teach them how to assault the human anatomy. If they would bite a person, it's already in them. That's actually a trait when I'm temperament testing the dogs that I look for is do they have a strong enough prey drive to go after bigger game, right? And so if it's in there, it's in there. You know, that's like if you take a guy that's swole, but he hasn't been trained to fight yet. He might still knock you out. You just don't know. He doesn't know how and when to do it. That being said, I'm gonna give the floor again.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, Twin?
Hey, what up, fellas? You know, I feel like this, man. If they ain't hating on you, then you ain't doing something right. So
Facts.
that's
Big
just how it
time.
go, bro.
Facts. That's what my mother used to say.
So can't take this stuff personal, gentlemen. I mean, I always make that comment. I know me and my brother, we can be very abrasive sometimes, but then it's not like we're talking to a room of kids. I don't lose contrast with where I am and who I'm talking to. So sometimes you know, grown folks have the ability, if you don't like what somebody say, you know, you always can turn the channel type of situation. But it's, you know, I don't have any restrictions based on what I do and how I do it. You know, just like you can't teach an old dog new tricks type of shit. But the unity part is always going to be based on how strong the will is to create that unity. See, you can't be a stepping stone by stepping on other people. You got to be a stepping stone when we're all stepping on the same stone and we're trying to climb together. People don't get that. This dog community, I don't know where people feel like things can't happen, because as long as we've been in it, we always had the ability to get around and hook up with certain people and sit down and talk dog. And yeah, we might go back and forth and go through things, but it never stopped us from what we were doing and sharing information and hanging out together. And so I'm always a fan of believing things can happen. You know, I'm definitely we train dogs. We don't train our pit bulls to go after people because we have other dogs that we train to do that. But that's what we choose to do. I think every man should have the right to do what they want to do with their dogs. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't look down on somebody based on what they do. Now, the Triple J situation, hey, he has always been his own person. Never seen him in the box, so I can't sit there and tell you what he does and how he does it, or why he says some of the things that he say. But I really don't sit back and take what he say to be personal, because maybe that's just who he is, because we don't know him personally. So you can't take things and lump them all up and then automatically take a certain stand on it because of how somebody says something. You just sit back and you analyze it yourself, and then you let it ride, because again, you don't know that man personally and you don't know why he thinks and says what he says, but that's still his right. You can speak on it and feel the way you want to feel because you have that right, but you don't throw somebody under the bus because they feel like that. That's just like people throwing us under the bus because we have pit bulls. You know, don't make sense. Not everybody's a pit bull. I mean, a dog fighter. I openly announced it because we were. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. So it's how people take that. You can like me or you don't have to like me. But it's not something that I sit back and be like, well, dang, it used to be this and it used to be that and all that other craziness. I don't go down that lane because, again, it doesn't matter. You have the right to feel the way you feel, and I'm going to have the right to do what I feel. And hopefully we're going to agree to disagree. Sometimes that can be a very hard situation because people don't tend to agree on everything. So you feel like you got a point to argue. But I don't argue stupidity, because what you gonna do? What you gonna get out of it talking to somebody who don't know what they're talking about? A bunch of nothing. Where you gonna get in that conversation? That's like somebody arguing with me about whether I'm a twin or not. You know, where's that gonna get us? If your eyes can't see it, if you can't see it by me just telling, if you can't see it by what I'm hearing me by what I'm saying, you can't see it for yourself, then that's a dumbass conversation for me to even be trying to have. So those are conversations I just let them have it because evidently you just want to just have something to say, and I ain't got time for that. So we need a whole lot more of that than trying to address any and everything that people say. Because again, try not to go after people as individuals, but I will when it's necessary. Because again, I'm not talking to a bunch of kids. Hopefully I'm talking to a bunch of grown men. And at some point, you know, somebody got to realize there's a time where talking stops and action has to come in. And see, we can talk a lot about that unity, but until we start showing it, it's still a bunch of talk. I'm not the one who just keeps on talking. I do things to try to make things better, you know, like the Digital Dog Show. Regardless of what people think I might say, don't have anything against it. Definitely try to promote it as much as possible. And any other confirmation shows, brothers want to get together and do some confirmation shows, I'm all for it. You just had Fat Gabe on the show. Those guys are trying to do things that help the betterment of the confirmation shows, the actual hog hunting events, things like that. Just gives us something to do, you know, and people just need to become a part of it. I know it's different, but that's what makes it so interesting, because it ain't nobody being fake. We just ain't sitting back talking about doing hog hunting. We actually going out, putting the hogs out there, and we making the maize, and we gonna actually be doing some hog hunting. It used to be done. It, you know, that's not new to the game. Confirmation shows ain't nothing new to the game. You know, there's still people out there doing dogs. I mean, I don't think they're ever going to stop that. But then that's what other people choose to do. That don't mean we can't take our dogs and do something else. I'm never against taking these dogs doing something else, because guess what, fellas? They're still working dogs and they need to have work. Y'all still there? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, twin.
Okay.
I wanted to jump in. So no, man, and like I appreciate you coming through, because like every time you start your shows off, man, there's always free game at the beginning that a lot of people miss. You know, a lot of people just want to hear, you know what I'm saying, the dog stuff, and that's cool. I want to hear the dog stuff too, but that first hour of the show is demand building. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to announce it. But what I've realized about my generation, I'm a millennial, you know, and out of my generation, I learned from dealing with my peers that we miss the messages. You know, they had these things when I was growing up called Aesop's fables. I was lucky enough to be raised by my grandfather. I heard those Aesop fables. You know, the story of the boy who cried wolf. And some people just think the boy got ate for no reason, because they didn't realize that he kept calling wolf, and people kept trying to help him. You know, the moral of that story was, don't call for help unless you need help. And the difference between you is you see it as adults because you've been around adults long enough to see it as adults. But I'm 33 years old, and I know there's other 33-year-old people who can't extrapolate the message without being spoon-fed it. You know, and some of these are soldiers now, you know, and I'm like, okay, these guys are, I can't not let you get this message because I need you to have my back. And I yield the floor on that.
Yeah, but see, everybody don't make the team. You as the ex-drill instructor, you know how that works. Everybody don't make the team. And you can't waste your time on things that's just not going to work, because you're just wasting a bunch of time. There's nothing wrong with giving a bunch of effort, because as a Marine, I've seen a lot of guys who couldn't make it through boot camp. They couldn't do what everybody else is doing. As much as we were being punished, because we're as strong as the weakest man. So if that man is a mile back, we all got to turn right. All of us got to turn right back around, run all the way back there where he at, and then come all the way back that whole mile and bring him with us. Now, imagine how he felt when we got back to the barracks, knowing what we keep doing. We're always going to keep doing that. We're always going to keep doing that. They're going to keep on making us do it until you keep up. So if we got to drag you as we moving along the way, then that's what we going to do. So that part, that's how you bring, you know, you're trying to bring the right person in. Now, if they don't make it, them drill instructors going to step in and say, you're just not fit for this. But it's not like we don't give it the effort, and they make us create that effort. So I totally understand why they used to do it that way. If you don't put forth the effort to help somebody, to where even if you got to drag them along to get to where you got to get to, and if they got it in them, they're going to catch up and they're going to figure it out and they're going to get on that bandwagon. You help that person. But then if they can't make it and you did all you can do, then it's easy for you to just move on. And that's how I feel about people that I hire or people that work for me and they just can't get it. Hey, I'm gonna do all I can to help you, but when it's just not working out, maybe you just need to find something else to do. This is just not your thing. But I'm a true believer in at least putting forth the effort. See, we don't put forth the effort, baby, because some of them just really ain't true dog men. I mean, Samurai, you doing what you doing, and as long as you're putting forth the effort, why am I gonna knock that? Why wouldn't I do all I can and bring the people, more people that, hey, let's try to make this happen. Need more people to get involved. Need more people to do a lot of things. So that's where I'm at with that. You know, give them as much effort as you can when you see somebody else trying to do something. For the ones that want to sit back and talk and put it down and do what the Triple J situation did, I don't look at that as a knock. I just look at that. That's just a person. You know, that's just maybe the way he feels. But long as it ain't putting no cramp in what I'm doing, and the only way it could do that because I'm gonna take that situation and I'm gonna make my own assumption about it, and then I'm gonna feel like I gotta address it when really it's nothing for me to address because he's really entitled to say what he want to say. As long as it don't affect me. He didn't come out of his mouth and mention my name or kind of come at me direct. But then again, it was such a broad and open statement to be making that everybody can jump on that situation. I just choose not to because again, I mean, y'all know how this country is. I mean, we black people, of all people, we should know. We would be running around here beating up everybody if we wanted to take that kind of attitude based off of what he said, when we shouldn't be. Because long as you don't step in my presence or interfere with what I'm doing, I'm gonna let you have that. Y'all feel me? It's not worth it.
Overstood. And I did want to say, to be clear for anybody listening, because I know people like to misconstrue things, he never said samurai nothing. You know what I'm saying? He never did. It was the sentiment and of a broad statement, y'all. And like Twin said, that could have been anybody could take the bait on that one. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could take the bait on that one. So let me say that first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Like he never put a stamp on that one. And with that being said, I'm gonna yield the floor to y'all brothers to cook on whatever y'all want to talk about.
Y'all awful quiet. We in here having some conversation. Shit was sounding deep when I was sitting back there on the back street just listening. Now I done stepped in here, everybody done got quiet. What the hell's wrong with y'all?
Nah.
So Twin, let me say this, Twin. When you or a schoolboy or any of the OGs come through, man, I personally like to have a heads up so I can have a list of questions, you know, and of things that I want you specifically to address. So you kind of caught us off guard this morning. I ain't think you're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, available at this time of the morning on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? But well, it's morning over here where we at. But I do have a question that I
go for it, fam.
Because you and your brother, y'all own all kind of businesses, man. Y'all been in the records, y'all been in the AC company, and so my cousin is on here. Twin, he's never met you, so I want to formally introduce y'all, and I kind of want to just like show him the kind of people. He doesn't know you specifically, Twin, because he's not at the dog. But my cousin Pimps Over Sims, this is GHK Twin. This is brother Mike. There's two of them. They're twins, and they're legendary, man. Like they put in a lot of work in the game. They're the same age. They're the same bracket as our cousin. That you know what I'm saying? And they was actually in Kinston, you know what I'm saying? Because you lived in Kinston as well. They were actually in Kinston, so they know like the Wootons and the Suttons, like they know where we from. And that's why I wanted to kind of give you that precursor. And when you're talking to them, but Pimps Over Sims, I wanted to go into the business aspect because you put me on game about owning my own business, and the twins also understand that concept as well. So with that being said, Pimps, I'm gonna turn it over to you. I'm gonna yield the floor so you can formally introduce yourself. And Twin, this is my cousin, man. This is all family here, bro.
What's up, fam?
What's going on with you, man? What's going on?
Not much, man. Go ahead, tell me about yourself, bro.
Nah, man, I'm just, you know, out here like everybody else, you know, grinding. Learning as I go. I got two clothing brands, pressure washing business, a whole bunch of other, business ventures. But, I'm just supporting my cousin. This is something he's always wanted to do. He finally, he went ahead and did it, and he put his all into it. He's seeing the results, and I'm proud of him. And I'm meeting a lot of, I just want to network. You know what I mean? I just want to network, and I like what he's doing. I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm out here in North Carolina. Got some young guys out here, they doing their thing. So I'm just trying to spread the word. I'm learning, I'm listening, I'm learning. It's a lot of things I know, a lot of things I don't know. So I'm a student. You feel me? So I'm just taking it all in.
Well, me personally, I just left Kinston because I just buried one of my like my little brother in that area. And if you know how that is, and you share the love for that little town of Kinston, them Suttons, them Wootons, they like in the fields. They're part like their family to me. My brother was married to a Graham. And you know how big that Graham family is down there too. They just like the Wootons in the fields and the Suttons. They every damn where. But what I love about that family, that North Carolina situation is the family part. And the thing you impressed me about, you said the young guys. See, you take on a big responsibility when you start dealing with the young guys, because you have to mold them. You have to be able to um, help them create their own foundation. So in order to do that, your foundation has to be somewhat stable. And see, that's a big responsibility if you got a crack in your foundation and you're trying to help somebody build their own. So you have to limit your mistakes and stand strong on what you believe in, so they understand what it takes to be on a strong foundation. So I understand when you say that hustle and that grind, because I done did it plenty. I mean, man, I ain't never worked for nobody but the United States Marine Corps, and I grew up in a family business, and my parents was them kind like old schoolers. They believed in beating your ass and yes sir, no sir type of people. So but becoming a businessman and jumping off into a whole bunch of different opportunities, it really didn't start. The journey starts with one. You got to master one, because you don't want to be, a lot of things, but the master of none. So I always stuck to what I knew first. And what I didn't know, when I jumped off into the record business and making music and started traveling, like everything, you have to start on something. There's nothing there. And you have to start from nothing. Then you got to bring the right people to help pour the concrete. So when as you're building up and putting the building on it, the building has something to stand on. But the whole time, you the general contractor. You're the reason why that building is there. And that means makes you responsible for everybody underneath you. And that's how we even do this dog channel. We're new to this dog stuff. But thank God for people like 7-8 and the general over there and what he did, and Bakari and Rastaman and Schoolboy and Ram. Them guys just jumped in, put us on, helped us build it up. Then all my boys on the back street, they start coming out of the woodwork, coming on the show, because again, look how that momentum picks up. See, we were already kind of known in the dog game. People just didn't know us. But once you start getting that community in, you want to be able to have a purpose why you're doing what you're doing, and what can you give them that's going to help them become better at what they're trying to do. And that's how we look at the dog channel. This is a dog channel, and we make it perfectly clear, that we are dog fighters. That's what we were. We're dog trainers, but on this channel here, we're not talking about dog training. We're talking about fighting pit bulls, our history, what we did. And people can't really knock that, because again, you can't change nothing we did in our past. It is what it is. So knowing that, all we can do is share that with you, and it's up to you to probably get out of that what you want. It's not a book. It's just us trying to give you something and actually share information and even answer your questions and talk about things that some people haven't had the experience to even know about. Like I read a comment that my man Ben Brockton made, about a lot of these guys haven't even got off the porch. You know what I'm saying? But then they talk like they've been out there. Well, if you've been in business long enough and you've been doing something long enough, you know the real from the fake. You know when people just talking and people who have actually been doing something. You know, me as a, a contractor here in the state of Florida, it's easy for me to identify who know what they're doing and who don't know what they're doing because I've been doing it so long. It's not too much I haven't seen or I haven't heard. So you can talk a good game, but through that talking, I'll put you to the test because I know if you know what you're talking about, then you shouldn't have no problem answering the things I'm fixing to ask you or doing something that I'm fixing to tell you to do. Because it's at that point where I have to make a decision on how I'm gonna handle you. I'm gonna handle you like you know what you're doing, or I'm gonna handle you like I know you don't know what you're doing, and your talk is not gonna be good enough. So I'm gonna make sure that I get that point across while you're talking to me. Don't be something that you're not, because I will embarrass you at that point because you ain't done what I've done, and so I know you can't stand on my level. And as long as you think you're gonna stand there, I'm going to ruin you. Why? Because I'm experienced enough to do that. You're stupid enough to try me. See the difference?
Hey,
It can
Mike,
get ugly, man. Yes, sir.
brother Mike. So I want to ask you
Yes, sir.
this, and we talked offline. I failed to ask this question when we were just chopping up on the phone. Have you read? Are you familiar with The Art of War by Sun Tzu?
Yes, sir. Very familiar. Actually, the Marine
Okay.
Corps teaches us that.
Okay. And the reason why I asked that question is because being that you brought it up, I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you brought it up publicly, I need y'all to understand like the mindset of a warrior, because these brothers are warriors. Anybody who is a it's called the what is it called the profession of arms. Anybody who's taking the profession of arms is a warrior at heart, right? And the thing about Sun Tzu is he has a statement. He says, "You never let a single enemy survive, because as long as that enemy's alive and has hope, they will find another army. They'll find another banner and they'll be back." So when you sow this, you sow the ground with soil and you scorched earth it, right? And so that's why
That's
like
right.
y'all have to understand some of these things you don't want to take it there with a person because you know that's what it causes. You know, and with that being said, I'm gonna yield the floor back to y'all, brothers.
But you understand, and if you, I mean, I know it sounds cruel, and I'm gonna say it because I know you're a nice guy, Dre. But you know what? He didn't get no alternative to that statement, did he?
Not one.
Not one
Not one.
alternative. So what that tell you? You get rid of your enemy. Period. Bottom line.
Yep.
Bottom line. There's no excuses. If he happened to come back because you didn't do what you was told, I understood that. I understand that to the fullest. Because when your life is on the line and you got a chance to make sure that that part is taken care of, you have to make sure you do your job well enough that they don't want to ever come back, and praise that you gave them an opportunity to continue on in life. But even then, you have to make that choice because you know the repercussions because you didn't do what you did. And he didn't give us the alternative. He made the statement and he stood on that statement. It's on you to let that enemy go. And if he comes back, it's because of what you let him do. And so yeah, I understand that warrior aspect to the fullest, man. Maybe that's why we so abrasive, because we don't break away from that. We stand on that, you know. Been doing it too
And
long, too many years, bro.
Hey, brother, going
and I
hard.
think
This solo,
What's up, bro?
but connected Kennels.
Mm,
You know I've been a long time supporter, and I'm gonna continue to be a long time supporter. I'm not gonna go back into the things that were discussed earlier, but just know that the brother
okay.
solo support you. But within that, though, what y'all speaking upon, it's a gray area in that too. Sometimes it's an overall enemy that's more powerful than the enemies.
still there, Solo?
I don't know what happened.
Brother Solo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, you went out.
What I
You
was
went, you
saying
went, you went
was
full digital.
sometimes you got an overall enemy that may be more powerful than enemies of your class. So what you do is you keep that enemy at bay within your class, but you focus on that overall enemy. Right now, we in a situation where the average brother in the community would go spend $2,000 or $1,500 or $3,000 with people that's, I mean, our stated enemies. I mean, let's just be real, you know.
Bro, y'all, is everybody there?
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, Solo just broke
Solo.
out. I didn't want to.
Yeah, it's breaking
Yeah.
me up now. When you start talking about that real, you know, you get all type of bullshit. But what I was saying was sometimes we got an outside enemy that's so powerful that, you know, sometimes we need to focus on them more so than the enemies within our own class, because the enemies within our own class is not as detrimental to us than the outside enemy. And what I was saying as kind of a tag along with that was the fact that a brother can have a good bread pup out here for $1,000, you know what I'm saying? But so many of our own would go to somebody else to get them 2,000 for something that ain't bread as good and post it proudly, you know what I'm saying, in the public media, you know, because sometimes, you know, that stigma of the some people ice is colder than the other ones is still in our mind. You know, if you can kind of feel what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you, man. But then you have to understand this too, Solo. See, I'm a warrior. I'm a monster. If I know you over there, say, suppose you living in my area, and I know you doing that, you're gonna be the first person I'm coming after.
But
I'm
listen,
coming
bro,
to get you,
I'm gonna
bro.
tell you, I'm gonna tell you, this
I'm
is why
coming to
I
get you.
personally hated to see you and Pelican Bay, you know what I'm saying, at odds, because I was looking forward to that digital dog show being Going Hard Kennels is going to host it. Pelican Bay is going to promote it. You know what I'm saying? The brother Samurai is behind the scene. He set everything up. And I was looking at that like, man, that's such a good thing. And I'm so excited to see not only the dogs and whatnot, but the unification of us. You know what I'm saying? And something that we are predominant dollar in, and we finally taking some kind of control of it, because these ADBA shows would not stand without brothers. I guarantee you, if you look at the amount of entries in there, man, a hell of a lot of that shit is coming from black men. It's coming from black people. You know, I guarantee you, if you look at these puppy sales from all of these quote unquote top line breeders, I'm not gonna name them. I mean, we see it. Look on Facebook or wherever you're looking at, and you see brothers day by day going and giving these brothers these others top dollar for these puppies. And I looked at that as something that was us kind of taking a little control and taking a power position within something that so many of our dollars is going to support. And when it fell apart, when y'all start going at each other, you know what I'm saying, for different things. You know, I'm not saying it was legitimate or illegitimate, but to me personally, it kind of was something that I looked at as kind of like I didn't rejoice in it.
Well,
You know,
I don't
so I
want you
looked
to.
at it. I kind of looked at it like, damn,
I
damn,
don't want you to
ADBA.
take this in a different. I don't want you to take this no more than what it was. Because if you guys was who watched the show, I never ever really said anything about Pelican Bay. He just didn't like us. You know, he said something on the show, and then we just addressed it. Now, because they took it personal, again, that's the thing that I'm not a fan of. Because you never ever hear me through all the Lion Twin, and remember, I've been through the Dougie, you know, the pro in the game situation, and you see how I dealt with that. I went through the Pelican Bay situation. You never ever heard me come back on that little young man.
already. So we lost Twin, but because I'm pretty sure he'll be back, man. Like he was going in. I do want to say to everybody in the chat under the sound of my voice, that was the portion I played in that. I personally hold myself accountable for that not going through, because I have the social skills to have corrected at least for my show portion of it, and I got caught up. I slipped in some shit called feelings and didn't fix it fast enough. That's on me.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as far as what everybody else got to do with it, I can't speak for everybody else. But you see, Twin is on the show right now because he allowed me to call him and talk to him man to man, and we talked about what we needed to talk about man to man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if everybody has to or wants to go through that process, but Twin, I know you back, man, but I want to finish the statement before. So, Twin, I'm cooking real quick. I'm going to let you right back in, bro. But as far as it goes, Twin and I have a general understanding of what's right. He's also my elder, and when we talk, I will never tell y'all exactly what Twin and I talked about because that's for me and Twin. But the fact that we're back on this show talking to each other right now, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. I don't always have to be right or agree with what you say, but as a one man who respects another man, every man is accountable for his actions. And what I did not do was I did not take a stance. And when you don't take a stance on how you believe or look at something, you silently condone whatever is being said. And that was my fault, my guilt that I played in that situation. So to anybody who follows me, realize I'm not always right. Remember, I fuck up daily, but I believe in I know I can show remorse and gratitude or and appreciation for somebody. And also I look at the value of relationships. I tell you right now, there's nobody in this chat or no relationship you have that if you told the entirety of that relationship to somebody else, they'd be like, man, I wouldn't have put up with that. I've been cut that motherfucker off, this and third. But you don't know what you don't know. And with that being said, man, I yield the floor. Twin, welcome back. Solo, that was great. That was a great statement.
Yeah, man, I understand what Solo was saying because believe it or not, fellas, that kind of situation that bothers me. Actually, it bothered me to the point that when I kind of didn't, even though it didn't have nothing to do with Dre. Me and Dre talked and he never said anything about it. And I respect Dre. I respect Dre for everything that he does. But I gave Dre his room. So that's kind of, let that be at my fault because
Dang, we have a connection issue.
Yeah, hey, Solo, you're not lying, man. I think they're shadow banning us, bro. I swear to God, like,
man, bro, it's so many forces against us, bro. I swear it is, bro. It's literally people that have think tanks that think on how to keep us down, bro. And sometimes I speak upon it, and some people don't be wanting to hear it sometimes, but it's the truth, man. It is the truth, man. I mean, literally, there are people working against us as a people with this melanin, and then on top of that, it's people working against us as a people with these dogs, regardless of what they melanin may be.
For sure. All right, so hopefully you can get your point across, man. I think they shadow banning us.
Yeah, well, how that worked when you start talking about that unity situation, things get a little crazy. But just to reiterate what Solo was saying, he right. And it's a bad thing. And again, it's something that can be fixed. That's why you see me. Dre was still popping up in the room. And like you said, I know he didn't want to let me know he was out there, but he was out there. He never stopped supporting me, and I never stopped supporting him because it was never meant to hurt Dre. But in the same token, we have moved beyond that. That's why I still jump in here and I'm talking to you guys to show you, hey, we can't take those little incidents and make those incidents be like that's a reflection of us. This is a reflection of us because this is what it looks like when you get it right. You fix it and you move on. You don't linger in it and you don't let it drag you down, or you don't get yourself caught up in it to where it can just be dragged on and on and on and on, because that's something I don't get into. So it's good that we can have that conversation and talk about it the way we're talking about it, because it helps the people on the outside understand, hey, it does work. You know, we grown. Everybody has problems, but there's a way to fix those.
Man, this is a tight one. You know what I'm saying? It's going deep. So you set this thing off, man. You knew what you was doing, man. That's solid.
Hey, I'm doing this from a
And
purity of
what's
heart,
up?
brother. I mean, if you meet people that know me, that this is really me. Man. If
Yeah.
the next show is hosted by Going Hard, and the brother Pelican Bay is promoting it, and the brother Samurai is putting it all together, that'll make me damn near shed a tear. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll make me so proud, and so happy to see brothers coming together. There's so many obstacles against us, bro.
Hey, so this comment right here, Hamza the Lionhead left a comment, and I really want to read this comment because honestly, this is my dream. This is what I dream of, and it's gonna happen next year, given that So it said, FYI, to see all dog channels together on a live. Talk about airplay. That would do numbers, especially if y'all did $1 million man move. Hey, come on, man. That'd be solid.
I love to see Triple J
next, man?
come on and do more with brothers. You know what I'm saying? I love to see Fat
Yes.
Bill come on and speak. I love to see, just more unity in the American Pit Bull Terrier community, man. I mean, that'll make me feel good, and I think it'll help everybody. I think the views and the memberships and all that would increase from that. It's a dream, But I'm just speaking my mind, bro. I'm just speaking my mind. I yield the flow.
All good, man.
But that's the thing about Solo, because Solo, he, I watched Solo. Solo's been around for a while, and I could tell the passion in Solo, because he was always, man, can't we just get along? And I'd be checking him out, and it'd be like, okay, Solo, I understand, but right now we got to deal with the madness because the madness has been presented, and you don't. I want you to know, Solo, there's nothing wrong with you feeling the way you feel, brother. I'm glad you're man enough to sit up and speak it, because again, that's what we need. We need people to stand up like you do, and make people like me wake up sometimes. Twin, it ain't worth it, man. Can't y'all just get along? Because I know you looking for somebody to be the better man, and hey, do what it needs to be done to fix it, man. I don't care how y'all do it, just fix it, bro. I feel you on that, Solo. So I respect you, okay?
I mean, it depends on what they do too now. I hate bigots. You know what I'm saying? If they on that white supremacist shit, hey, or if a brother stole some dogs from you, or stole some money from you or something like that, yeah, they need to be ostracized from the community. But certain things, as far as especially us with melanin, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm B1. I'm gonna put that out there for sure. You should know that if you've been really listening to what I've been saying. You know what I'm saying? I want to see brothers. I would love to see Triple J. I would love to see them, but I mean, more so than that, I would love to see Pelican Bay, Going Hard, Samurai, Thompson, and the brothers sticking together. More so than the others, because we got to get our own house right before we can even think about getting any other house right, But I understand sometimes people do shit where it ain't no coming back, especially if they're not showing redemption. Fuck them, And I'm not saying that ain't the case in some of the situations that's going on. I'm just saying me, I just love to breathe, man. I'm just speaking me. I fucks with Pelican Bay. I fucks with Going Hard. I fucks with Samurai for sure. I fucks with Thompson. I fucks with all of the brothers. You know what I mean? And to see them come together would be more so than anything else outside of that. I love to see my black brothers come together. I'm gonna be 100 because we the ones that's pushing this pit bull breed. I'm not saying others don't play a part, but we got a lot of power in this breed, man. A lot of these puppies that's being bred, brothers is buying them. A lot of these interest fees, brothers is paying them interest fees. A lot of these shows, you see them brothers in there, man, and them sisters in there. So we got a lot of power in there. And if we can consolidate that power a little more, it'll be better for all of us. That's all I'm saying. But I yield the flow.
But you're right, Solo, because again, remember the show, the pig picking that Tom Garner had was the biggest pig picking he ever had. And you had to be there to believe what I seen. I seen a whole bunch of brothers, a lot of brothers, and they came from a whole lot of different places. I enjoyed that. But what I also know, being in this game as long as I have, is brothers is also the reason the game changed, because they know, and I'm, like Tay, I'm not a, and I say this because this is not a racial issue. This is a fact issue. When we got our hands on these dogs, which we did, we started going back, beating up those other people. Remember, this is how the fast lane was created.
Right when it started getting good, man.
Yeah, man. Brother Mike, we lost you. But hey, I'm gonna say this right now. He said that's how the fast lane was created. Hey,
Yeah.
Mo and Mike, y'all already explained this before, but I would start off the show with that right there with that comment. That's how the fast lane was created, and that's the whole thing, man.
I'm still there.
Yeah,
I'm still there.
Oh, there you go. All right, welcome back.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what just happened. Yeah, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish that, Samurai. Go ahead and finish that up, because you basically finna say what I was finna say anyway.
Well, so actually, I was going to kind of divert. I was going to use your thing, because y'all don't realize it, but y'all channel. That's why I send people who don't understand even the basics. Like no offense, but Pimps Over Simps, he's not into them like that as far as like the history of it, right? But when he can listen to you and your brother talk about it, then when he comes into the back chats, he can kind of know what we're talking about, But as far as that's how the fasting was created, it was created because we was coming up with ways to innovation, the money, the energy, and the hype to take it to the next level. And I'm gonna kick that back over to you, brother. I yield the floor.
Well, that's what happened, and all them great dogs that they had, we start stepping on their necks, and sometimes a lot of them didn't take that to heart. They took it kind of like, even like David, like Tant. Tant wouldn't really openly sell a black person a dog after, things got the way. Remember, Victor only got made it in them through Hollisworth. It wasn't Tant. If Tant had anything to do with it, it would have never happened. And because it did happen, why you think they fell out? You know what I mean? Why you think things went the way they went? So you guys have to understand, there was a history in this thing called the American Pit Bull that changed in the late 80s and really got dominant in the 90s, because we start cracking them guys up inside their head. And so we don't need y'all dogs now. We coming back through knocking y'all dogs off, because why? We done got together and we doing the breedings amongst ourselves, and we create monsters, and we taking y'all shit out. Y'all give us an opportunity, we gonna crack you in the head. For the ones who took that little big idea of, I'm gonna get out there and see what they got. They ain't got shit, and get your ass whooped. You know what I mean? Hey, that's something to talk about, because it's something that really happened. You was all great when you was over there in your little circle. You got outside your circle and you realize what everybody else should have been realizing. We dealing with a whole new breed of dogs and a whole new breed of people. Them boys got some dogs over there, and y'all need to start respecting that or stay out from over here. And that's how that game went, fellas. And ain't been right since. You feel me? What?
I mean, it's been coming like that, bro. And not being hateful, but just speaking facts. When we were allowed into the NBA, look what happened. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
learn when boxers when boxing opened up to the non-racial standards, look what happened. You see more brothers dominating. You know, NFL, same thing. You know, Bulldogs, same thing. You know, and that's why I push such a pro-black agenda with it, because if we can capitalize on that, we will stop them from being the one.
Damn,
Yeah,
man.
something's going on.
Yeah,
Something's going on right now, man.
I
Yeah,
yield the flow.
something's going on right now, man. Hey,
yeah.
Solo, it cut you off. It said if we can capitalize, and you went out.
I said if we can capitalize on that, then we can stop them from being the ones that profit the most out of it. Because even though 60 to 70% of the players in the NBA is black, 90% of the owners is non-black. You know, and it's the same kind of thing I see in the Bulldog community. The most of the people that's profiting the most off of it is not us, and that's because we're not thinking about the bigger picture as a whole. We're thinking about
But all right,
it's
so
keeping
I
us
got
from
to say this, man.
capitalizing. Man, they keep on hating on me, bruh. You know, with other shows, that
Yeah,
shit wasn't happening, but it keep us from capitalizing to our maximum potential. That digital dog show, we need to put a lock on it before they come in, take over, capitalize on our division, and then now they the main ones hosting it. That's what I'm talking about, bruh. Just think about it for a minute. And without I yield the flow.
I've always said business first. Always say business first.
Yeah. Now y'all know when I open up the show, I always come in because I'm not Mo do the dog talking. I try to bring the psychological part of the business part of this and why we do what we do, and to get everybody in this certain mind frame before we get into this dog thing. Let me get your head in the why you sitting here watching this show. I don't want you to just sit and watch this show because he's finna talk about dogs. I'm gonna drop a little business on you to understand while I got you here, there's other things that we can do. There's other things that you can do. And if you think about what's being said and done, these are things I know we can do together. And that's why I'm a true believer in this man, and I'm my right hand to God. Samurai, you are the one. You like the Moses of everything when it comes to this digital dog show and this new innovative way of doing things. Because if you can make that and create it because you thought of it and get the right people behind you and make it big, you can actually get outside of what we're doing digitally and take it out there in the real world and do it physically. I believe that, fam. I believe that so heartedly that I would get all my brothers together and be like, hey, man, what y'all did for me, I need y'all to do this one more time. I need all y'all to get together. I need you to tap into all your people, all my boys in the basement, and let's do something and make sure everybody show up. I need that. I think I have the ability to do that. Why? Because I've been in this game a long time and I still got a big long reach in this game. So you spearheaded, I don't ever want to see you give up. But the thing is, you can't afford to make mistakes either along the way because you got a lot of eyes on you. And that's what's important. Like I was talking about, when you build that foundation for yourself, you can't have no cracks in it. And then you're trying to get other people to build their foundation. They got to have an example. You're supposed to be the example. I just don't want you to give up on them, man. I want you to keep believing it can happen. And that's why I trust that you will make it happen. You understand where I'm coming from, fam?
yeah, man. Hey, man, Mike, I gotta share this, bro. If y'all never had a one-on-one conversation with Mike, man, the last time we talked, I got off the phone and there is something to be said about inspirational conversations. When I got off that phone, man, I was ready to go march through a wall and go train the dogs for 24 hours straight because it's things like that y'all realize. I'm telling you the truth, and he knows this. Anybody who's serving in the military, when they tell you to go man the front line, and the front line in any military movie you've ever seen, the front line gets mowed down. Those characters are there as extras. They're gonna get mowed down. And that's what the front line typically looks like, until you establish a foothold in whatever battle you're in, right? And so to get somebody in a mindset where they can go man the front line, you need constant motivation and inspiration, because the person has believed they are beyond human to accomplish these feats. So I say that all to say I appreciate that feedback, Mike. I really do.
Okay, and I hope you take it seriously, because you are on the front line of this whole situation. You're gonna make it. Remember, we're gonna lose a few, but guess what? Don't we always get to the top? Don't we always make it over that hill? Don't we?
Always.
Always.
Iwo
That's
Jima.
right. That's right. Have done it down through history. So if they can make it work, and you believe, and I believe in it because I was a part of it, then I believe I can do that, not just for them, but why can't I do that for myself or anything else I do? That's why I do. Hey, I want to run a record company. Then let's do it. Man the front line. Let's get it. We're gonna lose a couple along the way, but I guarantee you, we're gonna make it, because we're not gonna give up, because we always scratching, always. And we live by that. We just don't talk about that shit. We live by it on everything that we do. We don't believe in quitting. We don't give up. We believe in planning. We believe in bringing people in and bringing the right people in. And we believe in motivating them people, because they keep me motivated, because success brings motivation. Y'all know that. That's all we got to do is stay motivated. That's why I say, Samurai, stay motivated. Don't give up. Don't keep being that motivator. Yeah, I want to see you walk 1,000 miles. I want to see you fall down and get back up and keep going up the hill, because you're not dead. That means as long as you're alive, you game. You can keep doing this, fam. Don't let nothing get in your way. Keep scratching, fam. And I know you probably felt like that when we got off the phone, because I kind of I was biting at you, like, man, I don't want to hear that crazy shit, man. I need you to do the right thing, man.
Yeah, but it is, that motivates me, man, because you really got to talk. We got to get in the back chat. I'm about to shut this thing down, y'all. But
Okay.
Twin, Big Early, Solo, Pimps Over Sense, man, y'all know at the end of the show, I always have y'all plug in, tell the brothers where they can reach y'all. I'm gonna yield the floor, and then before we get out of here, I'm gonna do the intro again.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Big A, man. If you trying to reach me, you can reach me right here on this channel. You know what I'm saying? But I love the chat. I love the conversation, man. Love the panel, man. Big respect for Twin, and you know what I'm saying. The whole movement. You know what I'm saying. The whole community, man. We making one step at a time, man. Much love.
This Solo but connected Kennels. I can be reached at SBC Kennels on Yahoo. The one with the black dog on the bulldog. You know what I'm saying, on the profile pic. I want to say shout out to Samurai Kennels. Shout out to Going Hard Kennels. Shout out to Pelican Bay Kennels. Shout out to J-Bo, Bulldog with J-Bo. Shout out to Thompson Kennels. Shout out to 7-8 in the panel. And we're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna make sure that we leave our mark in this American Pit Bull Terrier community like it should be.
Well, you already know how to find us on Tuesdays and Friday night for Talk Shit Tuesday, Hot Mic Friday. That's that Going Hard Kennels Reloaded talk show. Again, big shout out to Samurai for giving us the opportunity to come in here, and a big special shout out to everybody down there in the chat hanging out with your boy. I mean, guess what, fellas? If y'all support and keep supporting like y'all supporting, this channel gonna be just as big as any other channel out there. My thing is, y'all need to keep doing what y'all doing and hit that damn like button. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. It's on you, Samurai.
Shout out to Schoolboy too. Sorry about that, Samurai. I just had to put that in.
Yeah, man, go ahead and plug it, man. Let me about the company.
All right. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all had me on here, learned a lot. I see what was it's everything gonna come together, man. Just ignore the negativity, man, and keep pushing, man. Y'all seem like y'all, you know, everybody got their head on right. They focus. They know what the goal is, and just keep that in mind. And you know, anything else, just excuse my French, but fuck it. It ain't if they ain't with us, they're against us. So you know, it is what it is. But y'all can follow me at Pimps Over Simps. It's my YouTube channel. Candlelight Collections on TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, man, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be safe, and yeah, let's keep it going.
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all, and then I want to give a shout out to Mayhem Kennels, Art, LA Combine Kennels, and he said he put in the chat it's a stud for free. Mayhem, if you will, when this video ends, put it in the actual comments so we can see that. I can't look at it right now, but put it in the actual comments. So I can go back and pull up that pin, man. I'd like to see that myself. Obviously, Samurai Kennels, we go live on Wednesday. The Twins got Tuesday and Friday night on lock. If you're not in the right place, you're not in the right place, but y'all already know what it is. This whole movement we talk about, man, what my ultimate goal, what I took from the day was I got on here, I talked, and I grew. I feel like I actually like gained something from this conversation, and I hope everybody else in the chat did as well. I have a special thank you to the Twins. I appreciate y'all coming through. Dogman TV, J-Bo, all the dog channels, man. 7-8 in the chat, man. All of y'all, man. It's one love. And even if I say a name on here, please believe I would rather talk to you in person. I'd rather talk to you one-on-one than to do this social media thing, because when it comes to man building, you got to talk to that man for yourself. And Triple J, if I said anything on here that was out of sorts, I really just want to talk to you, brother. And I want to spur you to have this conversation. That was my ultimate overarching goal. With that being said, man, I got to play these sponsors by putting this intro in, and then we out here. Y'all be peaceful, stay blessed, and keep your blade sharp.
Too many minds.
Too many mind?
Mind is fool. Mind is people. Mind is enemy.